disappointment. Now the vice president often tell me, since he got a seat as vice president, how many persons have I recommended in this government to serve in the government as presidential appointee? Zero. Every appointment in Nima County was done by him. He and I would discuss something as a brother. To implement it, you will bypass me and do different things. I don't talk on it.
Now you need to deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later abuse us. So why? The government makes you lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
The good person in our whole United Party, that President Bouaka. You want to say that again? The only person that appreciate good among all the United Party for that President Bouaka. The rest are ungrateful. The right, they use you and dumb you. But President Bouaka, if all of them were thinking the President Bouaka and behaving the President Bouaka, United Party will have another chance in 2029. Just for now, they don't have. They do not regard people that help them.
Three of our soldiers were executed on this party ground. 2 at the back and 1 right at the headquarters. The man who shot and killed our people today is a darling boy in the Liberia National Police. They brought him back to shoot more guns. Get ready to shoot. Because we challenge the status quo appropriately.
Come on, Liberia. Inform them the violence or still any student because of their action. It will be the day the entire Bouaka administration will cut down. We will massively violate the students in this country and we'll shut down the Bouaka administration. The day that happens, we have the capability to do so. And if they think this renovation project is a joke, let them try it. The fall of the Bouaka administration begin with this. If they think they will tumble on any student in this country or at the university like Garguah and walk away with impunity, while our children saving opponents and logic in the Western world, while we are subjected to agile power and bad learning conditions here, and the thing will say.
In the first 100 days, no car will get stuck on a major road in this country. And I mean it.
You say it out loud?
It's going down. First floor. There you have it.
That led to decades of war still run deep. But so too does the longing for reconciliation. A reconciliation defined not by political bargaining or by an artificial balance of power by tribe, region, religion, or ethnicity, but by the equality of opportunity and a better future for all Liberians.
Bouaka can lie, the government, all the ministers in the government, they can lie. They don't put all hustle, they put hustle, they lie. Everything they say, they never say the truth.
Today, the supporters of His Excellency Joseph Bouaka presents him as a poor man from Lofa and asserts that he will understand the plight of the poor people. Fellow Liberians, do not be fooled. First President Bouaka is not poor like you, not even as me. As Vice President, his office received more money from the government budget than any other Vice President has received in Liberia's history. He has enjoyed some of the best and most lucrative government jobs.
There's this, what I call sort of vicious lie about the fact that Mr. Pewee is gay or bring gay lifestyle to Liberia. It's complete bullshit. When people can accuse you of stealing people's money, when they can accuse you of being involved in war, anything, people don't make up stuff. They don't make up shit. Excuse my language, right? So it's complete nonsense. I'm married, 8 Teresa, 2 children, 5 grandchildren. I believe in traditional family values, so it's complete bullshit, complete nonsense.
Young man, vice president, young man that are vice president, the major stole 500,000. I mean, Jamaica, the major went to, I forgot that Jamaica, the majors went to Ghana, the fit, and they may bring it all company in the country. I mean, Kun, they can reach yourself. Kun, man, you know, Kun, but I want to sophisticated, quiet, hardcore rule in Labro. When Labro, when
2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
Everywhere there is no school, I'll put school. And everywhere there is school and school in bad condition, I'll renovate it. I told them, towns and villages, everywhere you will have lights in the town for children to play and people to see. I told them every town will have safe drinking water.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
The government that capital road, small, B road, all kinds of the place. I think the reason Joseph Boakai will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Your league Costa, God know how to pay people. It's just simple. Costa that accused everybody but himself. Everybody, Joe, we join, we accuse Joe, he killed Joseph Boakai. Boakai still living. Joe, no, you leave better. He made me senator. He almost made Joseph Boakai president until he screwed up. We gave God the glory. Yeah. Well, Boakai, when he screwed, he said, oh, we don't want to make sure we fought for him to be reconciled with the president. And then the people who fought for him. Look, Yoli Costa, you come. And Costa was in a podcast, he said, they don't been calling me? Okay. The time you were calling me for me to kind of Boakai, did I put it on radio? That immaturity to do what you're talking about.
And I
no, son,
guarantee you, when we finish, there will not be a winner or the loser. Today we all wear the jersey of Liberia, and the victory belongs to the people, to the peace, and to our democracy. As we begin to build upon the foundation of this new Liberia, I, George Seleke Kromah, the new president, will first give thanks and praises to the Almighty God for the blessing He has bestowed upon our country. And I say, my people, thank you,
We elect on 85 irresponsible men what happened to our country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in on this Monday, the 15th of June, 2026. It is 5:15 p.m. here in beautiful sunny Florida. And we are ready to rock and roll. Hopefully your weekend went well. Hopefully you enjoy or you are enjoying the World Cup, wherever you are watching from. Before I go to the World Cup, let me go to New York City and thank the New Yorkers, the New York Knickerbockers, the New York Knicks, for being the NBA champions of 2026. What a game. What a series. New York beat San Antonio Spurs 4-1. In America here, we call that a gentleman's sweep. A clean sweep is 4-0. But they were able to sneak in one win. So we refer to that as a gentleman's sweep. You know, you want to respect your friends, so you don't want to make it look bad. So if you want to score 10 goals, you go and score 10 goals, but you pardon him or them, and make it respectable. So we call that a gentleman's sweep. So the New York Knicks basically swept the San Antonio Spurs with their superstar, 7 feet 5 inches tall Victor Wemby. Great team, great game, great season for both teams. We want to send a shout out to two men in particular on the New York Knicks team, Jalen Brunson, who is the captain of the New York Knicks and the most crafty point guard that I have seen in a long time. He made sure that this thing didn't go no further than 5 games. My hat goes out to Mr. Jalen Brunson and his deputy, OG. That kid is something else. Mr. OG Onanobi, who tapped in the game-winning play the game prior. A tap in that people are now calling the hand of God. New York was supposed to lose that game with little or no time left on the clock. Jalen Brunson shot a 3. It bounced off the rim. And everybody went crashing the ball to grab the rebound. And OG came from nowhere, jumped higher than everybody, and just tapped the ball a little bit. And it went in. One hand among 10 hands. That's why they say, they just don't want to say it was a miracle, but they say it's the hand of God. If you are a soccer fan and if you are a historian of soccer or you're a student of history, in the 80s, there was a superstar from Argentina named Maradona, Diego Maradona. He won the World Cup by hitting the ball with his hand, and the referee didn't see it, or the referee saw it and refused to call what it was. After the game, the reporters approached him. He said, Maradona, the goal you scored was a hand goal. He said, well, if the referee didn't see it, that might have been the hand of God. That's why everybody is now referring to Onanobi's tap, jumping over all the hands that were in the air and tapping the ball in as one hand among 10. It had to be the hand of God. So as a Miami Heat fan, we know how it feels to win. It takes a lot of hard work. So we take out our hat and salute the New York Knicks. I think in like 53 or 54 years since they won the championship. 1972, yeah, 54 years. And they won it for the first time in 54 years. So if your mother is 54, that means you were not born yet. Or if she had you when she was 15, you would be 39. Way before you were born. But anyhow, that's it about the New York Knickerbockers and the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs have a very good team, young. So I suppose they will be back here. This is not the last we will hear from Texas. But like we always say here, there is no guarantee that you will be back here. That's why the folks says, if you have the opportunity to do it, do it. Just do it. My monologue today will include history. And I want you to pay keen attention to this. We are going way back. We are going to be digging into history to bring us back into the present. Share the show. I am Jerome Gayman. I'm going to be your host as usual. If you were watching the World Cup, we understand. Take your time. We'll be here waiting for you. If you are on your way to work or from work, usually on the East Coast or even on the West Coast, in America, people do earn their living. So 9 out of 10 times people get out of work at 5 o'clock our time, 9 o'clock Liberian time, they are just on their way home. So they will join you later on and we're going to have a discussion. In the meantime, let us know what's happening here, what's on your mind, what's happening in your neighborhoods. Let us know where you're tuning in from and share the show. Don't be selfish, share the show. Let us all get involved and discuss issues in Liberia. You know there's a lot going on in Liberia. We're going to discuss it. We're going to discuss them all. Before press time or after press time, there might have been a lot that went on too. So if anything is going on in your neck of the woods, let us know. Put it in the comment section. We'll discuss. Okay? Well, let's go to some history here. There is a word in American politics or in American parlance. It's called circling the wagon. Circling the wagon. Circling the wagon is an idiomatic expression that means gathering a group of people together to prepare for a common defense, often in response to external threat or adversity. It implies drawing inward protection to protect the group and closing it off from outside influence. Historically, though, the phrase originated from the 1800s during the American westward expansion When pioneers traveled the frontiers in wagons and trains, they would literally form the, it's a Spanish word, it's called constoga, wagon into a defensive circular barrier at night. This formation acted as an ad hoc fort, which is a protection like a wall, to secure their livestock from straying and occasionally against thieves, against gangs, against the enemy. So when we talk about in politics, circling the wagon, circling the wagon in America means that the leader is in trouble and he or she needs a partisan to rally around. When you are circling the wagon, the guy who is at the head of the wagon calls out everybody, all men on board, come, let's defend our spot from external forces. Let me say hello to Mr. Gayman. My sympathy to you on the passing of our brother, Casey Jones. A very jovial guy, a very friendly human being, who may have left us too soon. On the other note, I'm going to get back to that. Mr. Casey Jones, just a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so before he passed, he and my brother, Jimmy, got into an agreement partnership, and they have a beautiful restaurant near the EFWA junction, and I'm going to pass that information on to you. And it's called Garguah Restaurant and Spa. You go out there, you're going to find everything. Beautiful place. We're going to talk about that later. But let's talk about circling the wagon. Let me say welcome to Seleke Kromah. I don't know what you call him, but you said good evening. Thank you very much. Emmanuel Bro, good afternoon. The closing argument. Panelists and my fellow viewer, as always, I'm watching from Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA on this Monday, June 15th. Thank you very much, Mr. Bra. Honorable Pope Success Keita said good evening to my Christian argument. It's the closing argument, very much so. And Mr. Gayman, thank you very much. And Flex Electronic reporting live from the Sunshine State. The voice behind the headline, Mr. Jerome Gayman, you are right. I am he. You know who said that? I won't say who said that, but he said, I am he. Yes, and the great city of Miami, we're getting ready to host the next game tonight. So we are ready. Florida is on fire. Miami has been sleepless for nights, for weeks. When I'm done with the monologue, we're going to go into why Africa is on the rise in everything else except our politics. Today, we saw the smallest nation on earth that is taking part in these World Cups. Cape Verde, with a population of little under 500,000 people, took to the pitch today and took on Europe's giant, the ruling king of Europe, Spain. After this World Cup, every African team will now be going to Cape Verde to learn how to play discipline back. Discipline defense that even the best of the best could not crack. When you compare what happened to Cape Verde and what happened to, I think it's Algeria, and you see what happened to South Africa, and you say there's something going on in Cape Verde. These young men know how to play soccer. Whether they do anything from here now on, they have been registered on the biggest stage of the world that they can compete. Hats off to Cape Verde, you represent Africa well. Let's stay in the West. The elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. Our brothers and sisters right across the Kavala took to the field, took to the pitch yesterday, and beat a formidable squad in Ecuador. With some of Chelsea's best midfielders. English Premier, great guys. And the Elephant brought home the victory 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, Africa has arrived. There are those in Europe that were complaining that there's no reason to expand the World Cup to bring in more teams. Those who made the decisions to expand the World Cup, that decision is paying dividend. Philadelphia is the home of Ecuadorians in the entire East Coast. They assembled and they said the largest party on earth was going to be held yesterday in Philadelphia because they came to defeat the African team. Out of the 70,000 folks that were present at the stadium, I heard about 60,000 of them were Ecuadorian fans, all yellow. Ecuador was all over the place. Everywhere you went was yellow, sea of yellow. Ecuador, 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 Ecuador. Little did they know that there was something coming out of the global south called the elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire. The elephant trampled on Ecuador with all her Gothic, historic islands and historic places in Africa, in history, in evolution, you name it. The elephant came and trampled over the tortoises and iguanas and all the historic figures in that little animal. The elephant came in from Africa and trampled over them. That's what we are talking about. Le Côte d'Ivoire and Cape Verde made us strong, proud to be. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Haiti banner here. Strong Haiti. My wife is from Haiti. And we watched again and we saw racism on full display. 2 handballs, penalties, not called. A man taken down, not called. and still they soldier on. So let's go back to our historical context. We say in American politics, we say here, and I said it before, we are calling the Ghanaian men of the Unity Party to circle the wagon. Something is not right, and the empire is naked. Something is going, we need protection, and now we are circling the wagon. This is where we are. The cocaine, the drugs, what is happening here, we are now going to discuss it. Unity Party is in full defensive mode, and they are now calling all the Ghanaian men to come and circle the wagon. Circle the wagon. The editorial from the Daily News said, we are reconstructing the cocaine journey through the RRIA. That's the take of the Daily Observer. The Liberian investigators say one name reviews about Liberia 19. What one name reviews about Liberia $19 million cocaine? Then the Liberian Minister of Finance and Planning, he also came to the wagon. He said, Minister Garguah hailed the Liberian National Police and the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency, their partnership in recent seizure of multi-million-dollar drug and Liberia holistic fight against illicit drugs. Then we go back to the Daily Observer, and it says the cocaine was not the discovery. You are missing the point. Liberian has spent a week discussing nearly 200 kilograms of cocaine worth approximately 19.2 million. We have debated the shipment's origin, speculated about its destination, and followed the growing list of questions surrounding one of the largest drug seizures in our nation's history. But the cocaine was not the real discovery. Neither was the weakness of the system. We already knew that system was weak. For years, Liberia has heard the same explanation whenever institutions fail. Government agencies are underfunded. Security services are understaffed. Critical department lacks equipment. Personnel need more training. Though explanation may be true, but they are not new. Concerns about airport security, border management, customs enforcement, and regulatory oversight have been raised repeatedly over the years. What this latest seizure review is something more troubling. The timeline emerging from the shipping documents and the security records suggest that the shipment was documented, it was weighed, entered into the international air cargo system, screened, x-rayed, granted security clearance, and stored inside the airport facility for several days before it was discovered. Let me welcome Honorable Pewee, Honorable Sylvester Pewee. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm on fire. The soccer thing is going. Listen, I have not been able to sleep. Look, Africa just making me, Black Africa just making me proud when I saw Cape Verde. Those young men, the population is just almost the same population of Grand Baza. Another country, just not even Nimba, just Grand Baza, 300,000, 400,000. And they were able to put up such a team on that field. I have never seen defense play that disciplined since I've been watching football in a long time, Pewee. Those boys can play.
Yeah, but they got a very good team, and to first and foremost qualify for World Cup, you must prepare very well. And the Cape Verde team is one of the best team coming up in Africa. It's kind of a a team built in a way. You saw the last participation in the AFCON and the rest of that, and they stopped a giant country from qualifying from the World Cup, a giant in Africa, Cameroon, from coming to this World Cup. So this is not a team to basically overlook. I've been following them. So yes, they stopped Cameroon from qualifying. That's one of the major things, and they qualified from the zone with Cameroon. And so yes, and the pattern, the defensive pattern that they used today was a very wonderful defensive pattern, and they were disciplined. Technically, they didn't. Now, so if you saw the entire game, it was very unusual to see the Spanish team dominating 74-75% of the play.
Couldn't crack the defense.
Ball possession, 74-75. That is unusual. It has never happened in many soccer years, decades. It's never happened to dominate this 74-75% and come and draw a game. So they technically they had some technical discipline in terms of the organization from the perspective of the Cape Verde team, and they defended very well. And this is something to prove that football is fast developing, and the smaller country, if you will, for country that you didn't believe that would do these kind of things, would do it. People with a little over 300,000 population, and with kind of meager resources they have, they're trying to put more into that. My understanding is that they're trying to develop soccer to be the means to expose that country. I think they're doing exceptionally well in that. And yet, the African team does doing well. Yesterday, the Philadelphia came on live. We have a lot of Ecuador citizens, Ecuadorians. If you know, they try
the whole tri-state area there.
Yes, and the stadium was, and yesterday was around and second to the U.S. game last Friday. It was almost 70,000 spectators.
Yeah.
The game yesterday came second to that. Has 65,000 spectators yesterday. Imagine, and 85% of those spectators
were Ecuadorian.
So
the whole stadium was yellow. I mean, you could find that yellow everywhere.
But you know they play here.
So, I didn't know they were that many over there.
When the game started, the way they started, our friends, they didn't want to get our hat on. So I felt like the Ivorian team organized themselves and other things. And you saw Ahmed Diallo came and pulled the trigger. But the game is the issue of organization, Mr. Gayman. If the football, and that's what we don't want to do. We have to talent, the raw talent. We need to, what we call, if you have the raw talent, you need to expose the talent, train the talent how to do the game and play. You saw that yesterday. They pulled that trigger for them, and they cost the share. Africa playing, and with the kind of thing they have, this team is not. We have a couple of them actually playing outside the exposed, but this is a young team coming up, young Ivorian team coming up also, and not the days of the Didier Drogba, the Yaya Touré, and the rest of that, But you understand that this team, with the patterns coming with Atman is there, and they have a lot of great players. But you understand that even Atman is struggling. He came from the bench to score this goal, so you also understand that. But I see a lot of things, a lot of shocking things coming up. But the fact that today you could have Cape Verde to go over goalless draw with one of the teams that is rated to win the World Cup.
Ranked number 1.
Yes. They are 2. They are number 1 and France is 2.
Yeah, they won. Remember, they're European champions. They won the last.
Yeah, the champ of Europe, yeah, exactly. If they could prove that, I want to see, and I believe Cape Verde will win again. I'm not saying may, going to win one of the group. They got. I think they're going to be maintained in that zone. The next game is going to be Germany. And is it Germany?
Yeah, I think it's Germany.
Yeah, I think the next game. I need to check the fixture quick, but I believe Cape Verde are going to win again. They're going to qualify from this game. They've already drew a game because they have the best loser runner-up that are going to qualify to the next round. This World Cup going to have the best loser. That's a way you lose, and fortunately for them, they drew her first game.
Yeah.
So that's a big line for them. But I heard you say something about racism for now about Haiti. But I wouldn't want to be a little judgmental on that. But I didn't see the Haitian game, so I wouldn't speak to it to see kind of. But where do you think the racism came from?
Well,
or are you blinded just supporting?
No. If you saw the petition that has been filed
Okay.
That is going around.
Okay.
One of their point was when the ball hit the man's hand, okay, it was a penalty. Even if the referee didn't see it and they pointed to it, all he could have done was go to VAR, right? But he refused to go to the VAR. He didn't even go there. And it happened twice. So folks are saying, how is this possible?
Okay. No, that's a point. Because the rule is such that the rule of VAR now is being also indicated that if the player the player protests a suspected foul,
everybody
says if you see the player protesting, because the protest should trigger investigation by the ref.
Yes.
But if the ref did not do it, the rule is still there. So they're clearing the rule. It also states clearly that if the ref is paying deaf ear to that, the VAR technical manager will inform the VAR folks to check it. If it is anything warrant investigating, you do a quick investigation. So now VAR can do our own thing, but for the ref to that dismiss it, then I mean that you cannot be dismissive of it.
And there was another time where the guys were going over the ball, the man grabbed the man's jersey and pulled him down, and then they called the foul against the man who was dragged down.
Now who had he play?
We played Scotland.
Oh.
And what happened was they played in the capital of Scotland in the diaspora.
Like it, the man you pro last night now, so we played.
Yeah, my body in that. So
I know
they played in the capital of Scotland in the US. That's Boston, the whole New England area. That's Scotland. So they did everything they could to make sure that the home team win. It was terrible. The petitions going around, and they're exposing. And what makes the people even mad is the gentleman who ref the game. He's a referee from Algeria. And folks are saying, well, what do you expect?
But he's African. I think he should be more sympathetic towards...
No. These people do not consider an African. They
unfortunately.
They pledge their allegiance to the Arab League. Most of them play in that league. Let me welcome Victor Nagbe. Honorable Nagbe, welcome to the show.
Hey, shall we say soccer enthusiast? How you doing? I'm listening to you.
Not just soccer sport. We're talking about basketball already.
How you doing? Politics enthusiast?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you can still be talking about your basketball team there. So
go ahead. You see,
it's been a weekend. I was saying because I know soccer is happening in the World Cup, but there's a lot happening in the basketball finals. The hockey final also.
The hockey final ended yesterday with Carolina beating the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Exactly.
That sport move here.
Yeah, man. We're well-rounded.
Football is going on. So really, it's a lot of entertainment.
Reddit pleased me the evening. They brought him in. He won soccer in school.
Yeah. Lukaku, they brought a general in the old guy. So they brought first goal.
Equalize the game. But what I'm noticing is just like you guys were saying, it looks like there are a lot of already major upsets that are happening.
Of course.
Teams that are not expected to do so well are doing so well. You talked about Cape Verde, drawing with Spain. I think that was unexpected. You're talking about Ivory Coast beating Ecuador yesterday. That was unexpected. You're talking about Egypt scoring first against
Belgium. Forcing Belgium to draw.
Yeah.
Forcing Belgium to a draw, exactly. So it's really
Belgium forcing Egypt to draw. Imagine. Yeah.
Belgium basically hanging on to draw with it. So it's shaping up to be a pretty interesting World Cup. I'm glad it's happening over the summer. I think we'll have a lot of fun. So it's exciting. Congratulations to the Knicks. I didn't like them. I didn't pick them. I didn't want them because they knocked my Sixers out, but they are very, very good. and we got to give them the praises because they've earned it. Jalen Brunson, that kid is special, you know. Villanova, which is located in Pennsylvania, dominated our team. You're talking about Josh Hart, you're talking about Michael Bridges. They're almost yeah. So Jay Wright, he has retired now, but that guy, he really he did a lot of work at Villanova. So congratulations to the Knicks. They earned it. Over 50 years of drought.
54.
You know? Exactly. So congratulations. I think they've earned it, and I think they should be very proud of what they've done. You know, I saw a lot of people, people here in the Philly area are not happy with your girl Taylor Swift. You know, Taylor is a Philadelphia girl. You know, and she's over there, wearing the Knicks jersey. But we love Taylor Swift. We love her.
You know how this in Philadelphia doesn't have star power. You saw all the star, the whole New York, the whole Hollywood was there.
That's why we hate the nation. When they come to Philadelphia, they own our city. We don't like that. They come here and they dominate our court, and we are like we're the home team, but we are like the guests.
But look what they did to San Antonio.
Yeah.
They went and bought the whole stadium out.
But it's a lot of fun, man. This is a good time to be alive. I said that last week. I mean, so much fun is happening. But I'm happy to be with you guys. I know we're going to the deep stuff, but quickly, I got to get a few things off my mind, if you don't mind. One, let me congratulate my Cali brothers and sisters over the weekend. I talked to you about Nebraska. Yeah. That's Liberia Association of Cali Brothers and Sister Nights in the Americas. We gather every year. This year, we're in Charlotte. And shout out to my boy, Rich Wale Menza. He came out as the president. And Ruth Tati Clark from Indiana. Rich is from Charlotte. Ruth Tati Clark, she's a nurse. She's from Indiana. She was the vice president. And then my boy, Clark Myean. Myean is from Minnesota. He became the secretary general.
Good.
It was a pretty interesting, affairs. Two of our financial people were retained. My sister, Patricia Japa here in my neck of the woods, and my own cousin, Della Kamara from Ohio. They were retained on the financial team. They've done a phenomenal job. So I just wanted to send a shout out to Charlotte for hosting all over the weekend. It was a lot of fun. We had so much fun, man. So I want to thank their father, Jose Yanti. He is from the Diocese of Capanos, but he has been sent here. Every now and then they send a priest to come and take residence at Tenafly in Jersey. Yes. So Father Jose Yanti, usually when we're going, we make the priests, we make them feel welcome. So, we send them ticket, they fly in, we give them lodging, they hang out with us the whole weekend. So he came with us to say the Saturday Mass. We go to Mass Saturday morning. So shout out to Father Jose Yanti, very nice guy. It was great. Two, we talked about the drug situation, but I mean, I hope we'll really be shining a light on this in Jerome. It is troubling. And Sylvester. I was listening. That one of the reasons I came late by that clip in the chat room about the drugs infiltrating the presidential villas. That is mind-blowing. The tentacles and the reach that these traffickers have over our small and tiny countries. It is alarming. And Liberia didn't come up a lot in that clip, but I think it's very soon enough that this will come up. And these people, I mean, we all know about what is happening in Mexico. These guys, they run incomes that are almost 2-3 times bigger than the GDP of the country they're operating in. So they have so much money to throw around, and the temptation is high. That story about Guinea-Bissau, Guinea itself, Sierra Leone, Mali, how they are dominating these countries, little governments, overwhelming them with so much cash. Our people would say cash violence. And so this is why what is happening in Liberia is very concerning, because the research is showing now that these people, when they come in, they don't come for little guys like you and myself. They compromise the presidency. You're talking about sons and daughters of the presidents going to bed with these people. Once they do that, they get all of the cover that they need. And in our case, the president's son his name keeps coming up. And this is why this is concerning. Since the 8th of June, today is the 15th. It's been 7 days, 1 week. There is no head, no tail on this situation occurring in Liberia. They reported $90 million. Other people are reporting over $50 million worth of drugs that was transiting through Liberia. I know you want to add in, Jerome.
No, I'm talking about you're referring to the Sahel paper.
Exactly.
Sahel report. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So that paper is not any kind of local paper for people to say, oh, these are local bloggers. These people are naming names. They have, names of people who are within the president's circles who are being accused of facilitating the reception, the packaging, and the clearance of these drugs, these narcotics through the airport. The speaker's name is coming up. The president's political advisor's name is coming up. A lot of names are coming up. So we are baffled that this LDEA, has decided to put out the name of a very lowly brother, Emmanuel Zion, someone who others are claiming has already died. So we'll talk about that because this is why the political leader of the CMC is saying the whole LDEA operation is a joke. He said that this morning, and of course, the UP boys were calling the station he was on. So we'll talk about that, but it is concerning, Jerome and Sylvester, because if we don't take this seriously, we will get overwhelmed very, very, and compromised very, very easily. So I'm happy to be with you guys today, and I hope we'll shine light on some of these topics.
Great. Let me go to the headlines from Monrovia. Our talking point today says, Citizen Movement for Change, political leader moves ability to describe the Bouakai administration as jokers, expressing dissatisfaction with the government's response to the $19 million United States drug case. Number 2, on our latest solidarity and trust for a day has given the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency 72 hours ultimatum to publicly disclose the identities of all individuals and entities connected to the $19 million drug deal. Deputy Information Minister Daniel Sano slammed opposition members for playing politics with RIA drug busts. They are lazy, he says. On a more serious note, I am happy that Mr. Ability said one of the key public statements that went against the Weir administration is their refusal to take seriously the fight against drugs and other harmful substances. You saw that when the CDC had her campaign rally, there were a group of people saying, we want Kush, we want Kush. He said the opposition is helping to undermine Joseph Boakai's administration drug fight by planting false stories. Then they give us a diplomatic tension in Liberia, heightened. Liberia request recall of European Union's ambassador, accusing EU envoy of undermining national institutions. The LTMR shows public of plate availability, data security, open operation to all media scrutiny. Association of Retired Citizens raises alarm over delay in Firestone benefits. Away from Liberia, MSF staff abuse Sudanese refugee in sex for food scanner. Well, that is nothing new that we know about. It's everywhere. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking about everything that has to do with politics. And there's a whole lot we discuss. Front Page Africa is saying who's shielding the big hands. That's the headline. Authorities on fire for withholding names in the U.S. $19 million cocaine bust. Officials say premature disclosure could compromise the investigation. Aha. That's it. Can you imagine? The cocaine was not a discovery. There's more to it. We discussed that. And then another key case in Liberia, the jurors are the heroes. Jury acquit ex-LTA acting chairman Abdullah Kamara of all corruption charges, all. The government, strangely, have not talked about appealing this one.
No, they won't appeal on their own.
Councillor Amara Sharif, lead Defense attorney for Abdullah El Kamara praised the 12-member jury Friday after it acquitted the former acting chairman of the Liberian Telecommunication Authority on all corruption charges, calling the verdict a verdict of truth and the restoration of faith in the Liberian judicial system. Liberia. And then there's another good thing. Those of you who don't want to hear good thing about sport, Liberian-born refugee Mohamed Touare reaches FIFA World Cup by playing for Australia. Hey, the young Liberian boy is in Australia making his name.
I think that will make him the fourth Liberian now on the international stage in the World Cup.
Yeah, we got Davis, we got two in Canada, we got one in the US. Then we got this young man in Australia.
Haji is in Canada. Haji, right?
Oh, that make it 5 then.
Yeah, I think he's in the US. But go ahead.
No, we have Haji, we have Francis Davis, but Davis is out of this World Cup.
Yeah, they say he got injury or something.
Yeah, he's
but there's another kid I heard he's also.
So we got Tim Weah, Haji, Davis for somehow, and who again?
There's another one in Canada. He last name is David, D-A-V-I-D. I heard
they got two in Canada. Yeah,
they have a Davis and a David.
And they have one again for the national team.
Then they got this boy, Mohamed Touare, born to Liberian parents in a Guinean refugee camp. Took to the field at the FIFA World Cup this week, playing 74 minutes as Australia beat Turkey 2-0 and carrying his family's Liberian roots into football bigger stage. The 21-year-old forward entered the tournament on the strength of a breakout 2025 season with a Norwich City, scoring 9 goals in 11 championship appearances since joining the English club. Wow. In January. That form has positioned him for a leading role in the Socceroos attack. Wow. The guy scored 11 goals in the Premier League. That's unheard of. But this is good. Before we get to politics, let's go back to sport. I was just doing a quick research based on what one of the commentators said, that the entire Morocco team, the first 12 players, none were born in Morocco. The entire team. What they did was they went into the diaspora and they scouted these kids that play for different teams that are of Moroccan descent and brought them together. Same thing I'm seeing. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say this quickly, right, Jerome? I think countries are realizing the foolishness of alienating their citizenry who have sojourned to other parts, and those countries that are quickly realizing that are benefiting enormously. You know, when you and I were young, we always had that tension between the foreign-based so-called and the local players. You understand me? So what Morocco is demonstrating is they have been able to bridge that gap. We still have that in Liberia. You know, it is not only manifesting itself in sport. Everybody in Liberia, you come from here, you go home, they're looking at you like you're from some kind of planet. You know, you're not a part of Liberia, and because of that, we've emphasized over and over again how much we're losing together. A lot of people here want to invest. Our people back home, they're building a wall between us and them, and because of that, they're losing out. We're losing out. Ghana has realized that. I mean, look next door to Ghana and see what they're doing together with their diaspora. You know, this Blackson boy who was in Liberia, he lives here. He lives in Ghana. Blackson is from the diaspora. There are a lot of people like us. One of the richest people in the U.S., this Dennis Richelieu, who runs Jet Magazine and a cocoa butter. These are well-to-do Liberians, you know. Sylvester Pewee sitting here, yourself sitting here. Instead of our people facilitate a seamless collaboration between us and them. I mean, who are we? Some of us were in Liberia 5, 10, 20 years ago. We're not foreigners. So I just wanted to quickly bring that out. Morocco has realized that there are a lot of people here, some of the kids who reside here, they do very well. But we have to be able to seamlessly integrate them into our system so that together we rise. When are we going to realize that?
Well, I think Ghana was the first to do this. Remember the Boateng brothers, Sylvester Pewee. If you remember the Boateng brothers, the German boys, and Otto Odu, he also were born in Hamburg.
Yeah, Kevin Boateng and his brother.
Yes, and Kevin Boateng and Jerome Boateng.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know they are twins, right?
Yeah, twin boys.
Yeah.
And then you have the Gerard Asamoah. He was born in Ghana, but then we had also Otto, born in Hamburg, Germany. Mm-hmm. Then Anthony of Bafo, also born in Bonn, Germany. These boys are all Ghanaian that were born out of the country, but they brought them back home because these kids, the German team, didn't need them because all the academies were full of talented young folks. Yeah. So why not go to Ghana and play for your home team, your country team, and become a star, which they did. Yeah. So now what Liberia need to do now is we need to put money in going around the world and scouting Liberian talents. Those kids who are in these expensive academies that we don't have, if you bring them home and our local people play along with them, that's exposure.
Yeah.
So you can't close the door on everything. Even the team from Cape Verde, you know, the largest Cape Verde, they got 1 million Cape Verdean out of the country, and the whole country population is 350,000 people.
They got more people out than they're in.
They got more people. Guess what they did? They came abroad, especially in the Northeast, Prophet and Rhode Island, that whole area. So they went around the world and brought in all the young, talented kids that play in all these different academy universities and brought them home. And look, it's paying dividend.
Yeah.
So Liberia, with all the big mouth we got, let's put some money.
I mean, look next door, Jerome, in your neck of the woods, Haiti. Haiti got a team here. In spite of all that's going on in Haiti, talking about the cartel taking over the whole country, they hardly have a government standing. They have a team here at the World Cup. Iran, with all this going on with the US, they have a qualifying team here in the World Cup.
Iran is here.
Yeah, yes. But the way to do it, and you guys are completely correct here. The way to do it, you see, you need to engage in the program. We don't have a set program to do these things. The Moroccans, they put into place. Now, what even the Moroccans are doing is different. I was there in Casablanca and Marrakesh, if you will, in different part of Rabat. It's been years ago. I was there. What I personally observed that they got different sort of football academies, well structured, well laid out. The carpet you see, you can even want to sleep there. Those kids, the younger generation, are training them now. So what basically we're doing in Europe, they're trying to set the same program there into Morocco. They believe that, I mean, before, the next World Cup, they're going to be co-hosting the next World Cup.
Yeah, they're fighting hard.
Co-hosting the World Cup with Portugal and that of the 3 countries going to be hosting: Morocco, Portugal. What's the other country?
Next door, Spain or Italy, one of them right there. All of them right
so they're going to be hosting the World Cup. So they have a very wonderful football program and put into place to initiate these things. And the same with this very powerful Fulari Piquet from the US here. You understand that
the Nigerian kid.
The Nigerian kid, right? His mother may have come in this country for visitation, and he gave birth to him, right? And then he went back just a couple of months after birth. They took him back to England, but the parents ensured that he went to a football academy. So what can the government of Liberia do in these things? Sometimes we need to set a wonderful program, because if we expose the country to having talented football players, what it does is start bringing a lot of powerful companies in the country. And they will sit there and start scouting these players, and more revenue going to come. Because if there's a buy a player, maybe around $15 million, you know, percent going to the team and all that. So if you start building a academy, pumping money to building a academy, beyond doing those and that, Liberia is small, it's not a big country. What we have to do, set one in Grand Bassa County, set one in Bonn County. The fact, I mean, you can set up maybe 6 different academy across. And then you put more money in the budget, pay someone, somewhere, to begin the process of scouting talented players outside of Liberia. How can we do that? If we found out that we have some Liberian parents trying to pay money for their children to go to academy, the government should have money in the budget. Okay, we can help.
Yeah.
How can we help them to do these things? Because we need all to do that. We can't. And I've said to somebody, I said, Liberia would never, ever would have the discussion. When would Liberia, the mayor said, when will Liberia be part of hosting World Cup? I told him, say, it is not our lifetime. No. It's not our children's lifetime. It's not the
Professor, have you ever seen Liberia in our lifetime? Have we seen Liberia qualify for the Cup of Nations before we talk about World Cup?
That's what exactly I was saying to him. I said, maybe if we did something right, we can qualify for the Cup of Nations in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Can we also qualify for the World Cup in our lifetime? I told him, say, yes, we have to get it right. Yeah. And it's not out of imagination. We ought to prepare for it. Now, Cape Verde qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Africa, look at the African team that qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we don't want to see the Ghanaian team. They're trying to build a young team also again. And that's a game everybody
they have always been there.
The Ghanaian team. Yeah.
Well, you remember, Sylvester and Jerome, you remember, I think it was a month or two ago, we had a young kid here from Philadelphia who is trying to set up a sports academy in Liberia. I forgot his name. Yes. So something like that. And again, sometimes we tend to put a lot on the former president we are, but these are the kind of things that a lot of us expected him, even if not doing it directly himself, but kind of through the back door support in establishing a sports academy, because he knows what these things do. He knows how the children here, you talk about Pop Warner the other day. Those of us in Liberia don't know Pop Warner. These are from elementary school. These children, some of them from kindergarten, they start training for these things. Yeah. Some of the children you see who are these professional athletes, they don't start playing from high school. Some of them, they start playing from middle school. They want to go to soccer, they want to go to baseball, they want to go to basketball, they want to go to football. That's where they start. And then they go to high school. From high school, they go to the collegiate level. From the college level, they go pro. That's how they do it.
Exactly. And quote this fellow saying that we are not contesting here that Liberia have never qualified for the Cup of Nations. As per history, Liberia qualified for 2 Cup of Nations since we got independence. Imagine we are the oldest country we've been
with 200 years.
Two. And let me provide information. Yeah, so we are not saying that Liberia have not done it, my dear brother. So yes, the problem. We qualified for 1996 African Cup of Nations, and we got knocked up in the first round. We qualified again. From 96, we qualified again in 2002. And then we got knocked off again this first one. We've done nothing in terms of really participating in the region, in that continental tournament itself before we talk about the global tournament. Yes, we all been pushing the Liberia should qualify. Listen, my brother, we are all very passionate football fan. I'm a football zealot, right? And I love the game and the rest of that. So what can we do as a country? The country we have to develop. We have massive talent back home. We have massive talent across the world. How can we galvanize other support? And that's what I was saying. Can we, to push around the line and ensure that we do most of these things so that they get. My own picking is in the game also. So how can we encourage them to get into these things? But there will have to be a national plan, fund of the government to ensure that, because these things that are unfolding, listen, why can't the government start building those kind of academy, being wonderful apartment, furnished well, have that to encore? You start scatting the young talent across the street, they're picking up playing football. You see someone there, you put into school, and you make sure from school that there are people taking care of them. Mr. Gayman, how we can get around? It's not magic.
Of course, but listen, what you are saying there now, Liberian guys who got all the money, some of you who got drug money and all that. I know you don't want to admit it.
Some of them.
Yeah, but
listen, we on the platform.
Yeah. But listen, this is we are exposing a gap. Everybody want to own a keke. Everybody want to own a telephone company. Everybody, we understand that there is a gap. If you own money and establish your own academy, and you put every child on a contract, when one of your children make it to the to the World Cup or to Europe or to what, the signing bonus that people are talking about, They signing, but Pewee, can you imagine you had 10 kids in your academy and 2 makes it to Chelsea and the signing bonus? Just one signing bonus will cover all the 10 years of investment you made in these kids.
So let's do a rubber. Let's say this signing was $10 million. This is $10 million. Because some signing can be big. That's what I'm going to begin for that, bro. It's $10 million. You got in 12% of that amount.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the reason why other people are now building football academy the Warriors. So we're gonna put it's a kind of investment.
Yeah.
You point to it, you reap from it.
Yeah.
It is obvious. And that's what a lot of people now are doing. You see, they got a lot of the Nigerians, the Ghanaians, and other African countries, the scouting these people, training these kids and putting them places and pushing them. People are intentionally establishing football team now across in major other African countries. Not for the we gotta know they got a lot of raw talents in Africa. The talent's raw. Unlike other people who go, so we are now went to no football academy.
No,
now want to no football academy.
No.
Most of our kids, our children, them back home that are playing the game very well have the raw talent. Those talent, if you put them in the area, because they got a raw sense. I mean, that's it. Most of the people ain't go to raw. I can't imagine.
Oh, yes.
These things unfolding. Kind of like Bape there, yeah, maybe they were going to.
Oh, yeah, well, Dopoh.
These are they wanted to learn it.
As we welcome Dr. Peabody, let me add on to you. So what you just described there, those are the tangible, right? The financial tangible. Then there are all the other auxiliary, the peace dividend. We all know what sports do for a country, right? So you invest in this, the families are making money, countries making money, but then you're also enjoying a lot of peace at home. Look how many people will be happy today if Liberia were playing into the World Cup. All of this drug thing we're talking about, the day Liberia takes to the field, we forget about all of that. Everybody will become one.
Oh, yes.
All of those, they help out as well.
You know? Exactly. And I agree with you, Mr. Number. It's excellent. Football can do other things.
Of course. The people start war. Let me welcome Dr. Peabody. Dr. Peabody, welcome.
Yeah, Peabody, and Peabody preparing now. I'm hustling now.
That's the man rooting for the Ghanaian team. What they told me.
The man I ticket ready myself. I'm putting out to get my ticket. Just because the man going, myself got to go.
Somebody told me the men are honor cover South African men. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even buy South Africa water. The water, I can't even buy it. That's how bad it is. Yeah. So I don't know what I can even get for that. I don't even think it no more.
But there's some FIFA have to drop the price, man. People the ticket price it's too high.
Yeah, ticket expensive.
Listen, my man, the market, they said it's capitalism. The market can only the market can only charge what it can bear.
Yeah, I made a lifetime sacrifice.
I give that to you. I regret why I didn't go to see yesterday game. That game on fire. Look, the Ecuadorians.
Oh yeah, I mean
they were dominating. I didn't see the game, but I saw
when they did the panoramic view of the stadium from left to right, nothing but yellow.
No orange. You wouldn't see orange.
No, what orange? Orange was there maybe 2,000. We're talking about 65,000 strong.
65,000. Yeah, it's a second highest attended game since the World Cup started.
The folks said that they were Philadelphia was going to be on fire. The party was non-stop because they had checked the box. They said they won't.
The last was lasting. Then they can't happy. They were 10 up.
They checked the box.
They were 10 up.
They say all games to win. They look at Africa and say, this is where we got it. Check.
Yeah.
This is check. Later, they didn't know that they were going to be surprised.
Because I listened to one of the ladies, and they know their football well. One of the ladies, she was saying we were looking to Germany. I think Germany is in their group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Africa has to Germany.
Yeah, so she said we were looking to Germany, and now Africa came and did this to us. We are very sorry.
Yeah, the biggest score. The biggest nailed that goal in.
Yes, in the 90th minute.
Yeah, he nailed it.
In the 90th minute, okay. But you look at this and you say, okay, I know
that Manchester United struggle there.
Yeah, when we were growing up, they say when you want to play football, it's a grown-up man team. You don't go play football.
Yeah.
If your mother catches you on the football field, they will flog you. Like grown-up people, all kinds of stuff. Now
you gotta go draw the water and fill the drum first before you go play.
Yeah, before you go, and when you go, you gotta come by at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Send us what's on your mind. Put it in the comment section. We'll read it. But we are actually having a great time with the World Cup, the game between Egypt. For me, for what Morocco did to Senegal, the way they treated the Arab, the Muslim brothers, because they are darker in color, the way they treated those boys, amen. The guys were coming, every team is entitled to security and decorum and respect. The team was coming and they were just in the hallway, they didn't even acknowledge the people.
Yeah.
And the player had to come like elbowing a way to get through. And then the tower thing, this rainy, the goalkeeper has his tower, they will come and deliberately take his tower. I mean, they did all kinds of stuff. Then they lost the game and then they tried to bullet FIFA into stealing the cup from the people.
Say CAF.
Yeah, CAF.
So how are they ended now? Who they get the cup to?
It's still in limbo. But it's like it's like the Iraq United States war, right? Iraq come and say we won. Donald Trump said we beat them dead. Now Morocco said they want to hold the World Cup, right? But they want to have that trophy. They had to say, they wanted that on their resume.
Yeah, they're gonna be the next. They're gonna co-host the next World Cup.
Yeah, so they want to have that. They want to be introduced as Africa's champ. So anyway, they can get it.
I know we're talking real sport and all of that, but let me get a little chuckle out of Jerome. I thought we were going to talk about Freedom 250, the UFC at the White House. You got nothing to tell us about it?
Oh, you didn't see that
one? Where? See it where? I didn't even they give it me free. I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, you missed a sports of your lifetime.
No, I didn't miss nothing.
Oh man. Listen, thank you for reminding me. Listen, Freedom 250, I am telling you, the MMA was on fire. 80,000 plus people. Man.
One of your men said Michelle Obama that man. Can you imagine that? You're not funny? I'm not even laughing. I'm not laughing. Now you're not laughing.
What a minute you see when I want to do that, man.
I don't know where to go.
They call it a big conspiracy theory.
Her bicep is bigger than Obama.
Wow. Man,
let me honor now. You saw Barack Obama throw the baseball at him twice, right? When he threw that ball, I just gave up. Anyway, let's move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is a great day. Today is the 5th year of the book. We are having the World Cup is on.
But that's what the shocking thing. The other thing, this small, tiny, wet alley country carry show.
Yeah. Oh yes.
The when they go try the Eagle Lounge Germany, Germany's are coming for you.
No, they score first.
But no. The Eagle Lounge, they didn't score first.
Yeah, they poke the bear.
It proved it. But do you know they're celebrating home and yeah?
Of course.
The fact that we score on team like Germany. Yeah, and the fact that when they qualify, yes,
Oh.
So
it tells you that look. That's why in Liberia we say soccer like biscuit, right?
Yeah, you can break it where you don't expect it.
That team is good. That team, look, all the young kids, just imagine all those kids that play on that team, now they have been exposed to the English league, to the Spanish league. All of these kids are now going to become millionaires. This is the good thing about making it to this stage. Just imagine the team from Cape Verde, right? The way they play defense. Everybody on that team going to be signed. They're going to be signed. These kids are set for life. This is what we are talking about. Man, it was good that they expanded the FIFA, the World Cup. Man, we got all these young teams from Africa. We benefited the most, and we're making the best of it. Dr. Peabody, this got to be the best World Cup for me. You know, we get tired with, okay, everybody from Euro, 2 teams from Africa, everybody from Euro, 2 teams from Africa. Finally, they have decided, listen, the whole world, Africa got the youngest population. These people are coming up. We need to tap into this market. Man, look, that's why I like white people. I don't care what the people say. The people are smart. They see 50 years ahead.
Yep.
They see it.
Yep. You know, it's interesting, you know, and I like how it is going. You know, the only thing that I hope more fans could come. Most of the countries that, you know, were crying that it didn't allow their fan to come. I rather hope more fans would have come because it would have, you know, but it's still a great thing. It's a good thing, you know, to see how people are putting their country far away, you know, the kind of unity that this soccer is bringing to people. I mean, you see 2 countries at war, but yet still the soccer team is coming here to play soccer game. You know, that shows how powerful the World Cup is. You know, Iran is at war with America, but yet still they have the team coming together and playing and doing very well. So that's amazing. So I mean, I really like it. I really like it. It's interesting.
Look, for you, just imagine, I didn't know this until yesterday, that Cape Verde has a population under 500,000.
Wow.
But they have 1.1 million of their citizens in the diaspora. So there are more Cape Verde in the United States and around than in the country itself.
Wow.
Can you imagine over 1 million of them in the diaspora?
But then the only 500,000 homes, so most people have left.
Yeah, most people, and it's a beautiful place.
Yeah.
They are Portuguese, beautiful place.
So almost the whole country has left.
Yeah, I mean, they're over here, and they are concentrated in the northeast.
Wow.
That's Rhode Island, Boston, all those areas.
I have met anybody from Cape Verde.
Yeah, when you see them, they look at Puerto Rican.
Wow.
Yeah, so most likely you may think they are Puerto Rican. They look at Puerto Rican. They look like people from the Dominican Republic. That's exactly who they look like, yes. But guys, let's go to the events happening in Liberia. Let me start with Dr. Peabody. I got all the topics here. But before we get started, tell us what's on your mind, what you think we should be discussing besides maybe we left something out. What do you think we should be discussing?
I'm more concerned about that drug situation in Liberia.
Okay.
And what's going on there. I'm very much concerned about it, you know, and that the government have not been very clear on what's happening. They have not had a press conference. Opposition had to come up and criticize them before they do it. So I'm really not too happy about it. So,
Victor.
Yes, I'm glad that the people had mentioned that, so I know we'll talk about it in detail as we go on. I wanted to talk a little bit about Nimbo, you know.
Which one? The fish, the Nimbo?
Finding Nemo. So apparently, Thomas Fala is here trying to find Nemo, and apparently he had a lunch in Philadelphia over the weekend. And you know, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about, you know, what is happening. I think from there he's going to Minnesota and then on to I think Canada and other parts or so. You know, I'm just I'm trying to understand, you know, what is happening. I don't have any fish to fry in it, but I don't know. Is it really smart, Jerome? I mean, Dr. Peabody, you guys are political junkies, you know, you're strategists. UP does it help UP that there's splintering into UP Central and UP Nimbo? Because obviously there's a tension there that is going on. We all know what the Minister of Internal Affairs said about Thomas Fala. But it looks like Thomas Fala at the end of the day has won the day with the president, because I'm understanding that the president seems to be 100% on board with Nimbo. So now you have this tension where UP has to now try to unify UP original and UP Nimbo. Is that not really going to be expending a lot of unnecessary energy when you know, the focus should be outward, looking to stop the CMC or to stop the ANC or to stop the CDC, you know, or other political parties. I'm trying to understand here, you know, what is happening. NIMBO is not a registered political party yet, but it seems to be taking all the heat from UP, and I'm confused here because the president, from all indications, he's going to run again if his age permits. Is he going to run as a NIMBO ticket? Is he going to run as UP, or is Fala trying to supplant Joseph Boakai in as the next presidential candidate for NIMBO and UP? I'm just trying to figure things out here. I don't know if any of you have a better understanding of what is going on. You know, maybe somebody can call in and tell us how they understand what is happening. But I'm just really confused.
But the thing, Mr. Nagbe, is, you know, there's a lot of free money around Monrovia, and you have people who have not gotten paid or don't have food or can't even make daily living, and you got one person who's traveling around the country donating thousands of dollars, going from one end and say, forming football team, buying brand new jersey here in Philadelphia, sponsoring event, and all those things, going around the country and say he's starting a movement for the re-election of President Joseph Boakai and all those kind of things. These are some of the corruption that the EU manager talk about, and they try to get her out of the country. And these are what we've seen happening, because this movement, even the UP, doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. Doesn't make sense at all. You got a deputy speaker who on break, who should be in his district aware and talking to the people how to bring a development plan and some of the things they should be doing. But instead, he's around going all over the country. So he's talking about a re-election. You're not even near election, and you're spending thousands of dollars. So I don't know what it seems that UP. I'm not saying that way. I don't think they can make it, so they're trying to do all they can. But it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money involved. They're wasting money, and doesn't make sense at all.
But you know, we are going to tie this president to UP. I know they're trying to rebrand, and I get your point, Dr. Peabody. Is very clear. I get it. UP is trying to shell, you know, their current scheme and take on the pastor or whatever the identity of NIMBO. We get that, but we're going to tie the affiliates to NIMBO wherever they go. We'll follow them with their affiliates, and whatever successes they have, we will tell them. But if this is an attempt to rebrand, I think to me it's really it doesn't make sense. Anyway, you know, I just thought to put it out there for us to talk about it. You know, let them go ahead. I think the more energy they spend fighting each other, I think the better off we will be in the opposition community.
Well, look, these guys are doing what they have done that have worked for them. They don't need any organization. They don't need anything. They're doing just like, you know, when we were young. Your former team today, you're going to play Habel, you start over in this Division 10, you pick a few players, you go here. The objective here is to win. It's not how you win, right? They just want to win. They just proved that in this going election. There were no agenda. There were no platform. The president said, you know, I would dance with the devil to win. It's all about winning, and he did that. He danced with Prophet Key. He danced with Yeke Koluba. He danced with everybody. He danced with Costa. He danced with who else? Mike Jabate. All these people that he brought around him just to make him win, they won, right? And what did he do? Dispose of them, and they're doing the same thing.
Right.
They're using their cash, going from country to country, like they're here now, identifying people who are desperate, and appointing them that you are our point man here. Whatever you want, we're going to give it to you. Keep the flame burning. You the PR man, you the everything else. And they are doing it from state. They intend to do it from state to state to state to state. And if it works, for those of us or those of the other folks who are waiting for 2028 or 2029 to begin, the guys are doing this thing way in advance. The cash violence have started 3 years in advance. So don't be surprised if the opposition take this thing lightly. That millions and millions of dollars will be funneled
Yeah.
Okay, with our money laundering, that's what they're going to be doing. So we should take this thing very seriously. What you see Tomafala doing there is nothing but money laundering, cash transfer. He will go from state to state to settle the nimble, identify people, empower them, and channel money through them to make sure that they keep the flame burning. All 50 states, if need be, or where Liberians are concentrated. Pound for pound, cash-wise, Pewee doesn't have it, you don't have it, I don't have it. Even the other political organizations do not have the money that they have. They are the incumbent. So they can spend unlimited cash to keep their flame burning. That's what he's trying to do. Pewee.
Yes. I think this is a very concerning thing, Mr. Nagbe, and you're right. Again, about that, it's concerning that folks will have to look back into this. The politics. Thomas Father came from the political institution, the former ruling establishment, if you will, and the way he parted the party believed he did not own it. Was not on the act of betrayal, but they thought that was counterproductive as a full-blown member that the party groom, if you will. He succeeded basically because the party backed him through. And the way he left the party to support, and I knew I sent this signal already. I said most of the politicians we have in Liberia, they are opportunistic, and Thomas Father is not going to be excluded from that. They are personally, they seek their own personal engagement, if you will. So I knew clearly the fact that Mr. Weah didn't win the election, he would have found a way to ingratiate himself with the new leadership, if you will. And then I listened to folks who say, oh, he gave too much to the party. He gave too much to the party. That is not true. He benefited tremendously from the party. And you see, people that would just, and we have hypocritical sycophants that will sit around the table and believe they want to give me some of those flowery comments and say they're treating some of these guys like they are demon god. No, they're not. He benefited from the party tremendously and using the state structure to get what he have currently. And he's trying to leverage that again so that he will be well positioned. This whole establishment of this auxiliary or whatsoever limo, if you want to call it, it is intentionally established. It's going to be a special purpose vehicle. And as you said something just now, a special purpose vehicle to get yourself connected back to the system. So all of what I have gotten before will be protected. So it's a special purpose vehicle established with the intention. There may be different intentionalities here. One will be, number one, protect all of what I have gotten over the period of years that I got myself into government. And second, continue this path of ripping off the Liberian people and getting these kind of opportunistic benefits from the states. That is the intention of this establishment. And listen, he bought a land where no one would basically imagine to own a land in that part of Congo time. Be that in no time. So you should imagine that someone that is pumping money. But one thing I want to push out there is for him to be a little mindful. And I will say this very clearly. I'm getting some report that the United States government is doing some investigation on certain government officials in Liberia currently. And let me remind him also that Myean attended a very lavish program of EULA in March. And that year of August, Myean was sanctioned. So I need to send this out to him. With the way the budget, first and foremost, for this trip, he says he's embarking on a trip, is a continental trip, both in Canada and that of the United States. He's going across. The Philadelphia program it's not a small program like hell, right? To have such program, I think I want to believe that they spend close to $100,000 to get close to those things because you have to get people out, set people this and all those things unfolding. So, but Mr. Gayman, why I would disagree first with you guys slightly. The opposition are not going to take this lightly, right? These things going to happen, and we know for the rest of the story they're going to do a lot of things and push. Myean Gongloe that supported it from the EFF said yesterday that this president does not believe in national security. When he's pushed everything to the vice president, all of things. That was a revealing thing he said. Someone was quoting him today when we were having conversation. The opposition going to amalgamate at the appropriate time. They don't have the money to spend. They're going to do the best thing to do in Liberia is to go and protect your vote. If Kamara could help the United Party do that, if the opposition can come back, the CDC has a structured political party. They have about that partisans across the country. They can provide what we call a pro bono service for a party they dearly love. That can be a way of pushing and protecting what's all that's unfolding. So a lot of things are unfolding in the country. We shouldn't just sit here and believe that they will go this way and go this way, or so other people going to just negate these things and believe that people will come and establish political institutions and then using that as a special vehicle to just get close to power and continue business as usual. This is not going to be business as usual. We ought to do the needful, and that needful will have to be done very well. And by that, you will see different political institutions structured in the way that they should do, and then see how we can protect the country election. So someone will say this today, they will move to say this tomorrow. But last thing I will say, the current movement of political activities in the country, the current way we've engaged, the last time the elections, I will end on this note. When the elections came about in Lofa, the county I'm from also, Thomas Father have gone to the CDC folks and said to them, we can change the narrative in Lofa, of course. Now, people believe Thomas Father spent, no, it was not his personal money he spent in Lofa. It was millions of dollars given to him by the campaign team, or some of those money that was spent the way it was spent, and how even he defeated Princess Saklia Yimale. That's a way, because there was a lot of money to pump in the system, and this is the same system that we're folding currently. So listen, we just have to keep our eyes on the ball, but I would also ask him a little bit to be a little bit mindful how he intends to engage, because you don't want to do these things. Uncle Sam will laugh with you today, you'll have breakfast, and then nail you tomorrow. He ought to be very, very mindful as to how he intends to engage. Because no man will spend money the way he spent. Like you say, his brother-in-law is married to the newest trillionaires on earth. Maybe that's the only way you want to spend money. Other than that, then where's the money coming from?
Well,
Jerome, just 5 seconds. I know you want to come to work on TV. Sylvester said, I'm not sure if it came out very clear to our audience. McGill came to Yola in spite of, not because of, that he got sanctioned, in spite of the fact that he came to Yola and pandered to Yola.
Oh, okay, yeah,
it's not because he came to Yola.
No, not because. I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, you're right. I'll take the correction quickly. But what I was trying to say, yes, and I agree with that. I said, that's part of that. He came in, and there was some congressional member even at that program, right? Because all of things stayed, the United States government took. So I'm just trying to warn him to be a little mindful. And for this one, he is single-handedly bankrolling all these activities. He ought to be a little mindful.
Yep. The stuff is, well, it's always refreshing seeing Telvi. Telvi Uno crushes on here. Welcome, Telvi.
Welcome here, Telvi. Go damn New Yorkers. They win, they die, they lose, they die. They burn the buses now in New York. I don't know where people come from. Telvi, welcome here.
They don't know how to deal with success. Telvi, welcome to the show. You are muted. I think
Telvi, with no sound.
I think you need to go back out and come in. No sound. There you go. Now, okay, guys. Why Flex Electronics? Why? Yeah, you don't have to tell her with no audio. We're saying it. You're so fascinated with this woman here, infatuated with this woman. There you go. I mean, we telling her we can't hear it. You gotta write it there, no audio. We know there's no audio. Man, go sit down somewhere.
See ma.
Hey, we can hear you now. There you go again. We can't hear you again. You came in, then you went back out. We can't hear you. A Flex Electronics said no audio. If we didn't hear you, we will not sleep tonight. So go and fix your audio. Dr. Peabody, can you check her out so she can come back in?
She can do it. Let me see.
Yeah, I think she's having a problem with her system. Okay, so yes, look, Dr. Peabody, we gotta be honest here. The The score, can you imagine Saudi Arabia score on Uruguay? Wow. Boy, I tell you. But I'm watching it here.
You gotta pay the platform for advertising all the time. You're talking about that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing. But this is what Dillon said, right? Dillon said, he says, I was a protege of Bronsky all my life. And many other people that followed Bronsky. He said Bronsky made nobody. He said, as much as you don't like George Weah lifted people's hands, and all you had to do was lift your hand. He said George Weah lifted the hand of a man who was selling nail and hinges in wheelbarrow at Thomas Fala. Lifted him and brought him to the community, and he became a member of the legislature. Same thing with Penna Youngblood. Same thing with Gray. I mean, you can go down the line. Geraldine Sharif, everybody. Say Bronsky never made anybody. So from selling plank and nail, can you imagine somebody making it to the House of Representatives from selling nail? How much do you make from selling nail? The general children were selling chicle. Do you know how many chicle you have to sell to make $200? So yes, President, we have made all of these for this man to sit there. I know all the stolen money he has. These people are going to come after him. So he had no choice but to join to protect his investment. That we know. Because what they were doing to Finabono and Sakimia, where they were just telling them, listen, your uncle is now president, you have to jump ship. If you don't jump ship, this is what's going to happen to you. So they started going after them. Thomas Fala took another way around. He decided, you don't have to approach me. I volunteer to protect myself, protect my ill-gotten wealth. And not only that, but I'm going to use some of that to keep you in power. That's what is going on here. So for him to sit there and say, why in FOIA the other day, why Georgia want to come back? They kick you out of the executive mansion. Why you left there that you want to come back for? I mean, I understand the lack of sophistication, but yet he had to be somehow suave politically to say no without saying no. But what he did there show Dr. Peabody that the man has no sophistication whatsoever.
Yeah.
Tell me, are you back? We still can't hear you. I think it's the hairdo. That hairdo is very nice. Oh, there you go.
It better stay this way.
Yeah, there you go.
It's now money hairdo.
Yeah, the money hairdo got Flex electronic going crazy. It said no audio, but Flex, we got audio now, so you can come back.
There's my
welcome to the show.
Yeah, happy Monday, guys. Glad to be on. What's cooking?
Yeah. Oh, a lot. We've been talking sports, we've been talking family, we're talking everything, but it's a consensus. All the newspapers in Liberia, I just heard from the U.S. Embassy, everything is about this drug. Who is shielding home?
Yeah.
The Sahara paper we just talked about, the report from the Sahara paper, that they didn't hold back any punches.
Yeah.
They are saying for the drug to have entered Liberia, it has to go through the proper channel. The drug was weighed. The drug was x-rayed. It was packaged. It got security clearance. It was transported to the warehouse. It was received at the warehouse and stored at the warehouse for almost a week. There is no way that a regular Joe Blow would come and pull up such feet. And I want to read this again. I read it earlier, but this is so poignant. And the reason I'm reading this is because it's coming from the government-leaning paper, the Daily Observer. The Daily Observer says today, June 15, it said the cocaine itself was not the real discovery. The Liberians have spent the past week discussing nearly 200 kilograms of cocaine worth approximately $19.2 million. We have debated the shipment origin, speculated about its destination, and followed the growing list of questions surrounding one of the largest drug seizures in our nation's history. But the cocaine was not really the discovery. Neither was the weakness of the system. We already knew these things. For years, Liberians have heard the same explanation whenever our institution failed. Example, government agencies are underfunded. Security services are understaffed. Critical departments lack equipment. Personnel need more training. Those explanations may be true, but they are not new. Concerns about airport security, border management, custom enforcement, and regulatory oversight have been raised and repeatedly over the years have been the subject. What this latest seizure revealed is something more troubling. The timeline emerging from shipping document and security records suggest that the shipment was documented. It was weighed, entered into the international cargo system, screened, guaranteed, and granted security clearance, and stored inside the airport facility for several days before it was discovered. According to the account from the individual familiar with the process, the cocaine may have been uncovered through sophisticated mistake. It was detected not by the security, but by somebody who basically just walking on it, uninformed, and blew the whistle. If that account is accurate, Liberia did not stop the $19 million cocaine shipment because it was anti-drug system work exactly as designed, as the government will also believe. The shipment was stopped because someone noticed that something just did not add up. The distinction should be concerning to all Liberians. The seizure itself deserves recognition. The officers and personnel who ensured that the shipment never left the country should be commended. Yet the larger lesson is not that the drugs were found. The larger lesson is how far they appear to have moved through our system before they were found. Nearly 200 kilograms of cocaine do not simply appear inside international airport. A shipment of this size requires planning, financing, transportation, documentation, storage, and movement through multiple checkpoints. Above all, it requires confidence. Transnational criminal organizations do not move cargo worth $20 million based on luck. They do not gamble with investment of that magnitude. Such operations are built on confidence in the routes. That means they have dealt, this is a plan, this is a systemic corruption issue that have been going on in this country for years. For them to have the confidence to send that much drug, knowing the level of scrutiny that it has to go through, and they say, well, we will get it through, we have done it before, we know how to do it, this is going to go. Something went wrong, so the government should not take credit because they were given security clearance from the police, according to the Sahel paper, from the police director to the gentleman who is the coordinator of shipping and all of these things. I mean, they name everybody. So tell me, the Liberian people have all reasons to be concerned.
Yeah, I read that report, and like I said, like everybody else, that's been concerning to me, that the whole drug thing. And then two things, and then that the ID card. But in the order of priority, the drug thing, for so many reasons. One, let's start with security first. With the LDEA. You have I understand where, sometimes you don't want to disclose because you don't want to compromise the case, but you have enough evidence to name the people involved, and you try to shield them, the main people involved with the situation. So it's concerning there. The other issue that I have there is where you allow drug of this magnitude to go through the security process. It shows a weakness, not only in the system, but you also have, which is part of the whole weakness, is you have the insider threat, as we call it in security. You have insider threat where you have people of authority who's moving this whole thing. Based on my little research on this case and talking to some people, within Liberia, close to this whole airport or whatever going on, what I found out, guys, this is not the first time. Like we talked about last week when we were saying, I said it on this show, when they say 19 million is 19 times 2 times 3 or 0.5 or something. Yeah. We said it. And I also talk about fraud, where you have, that whole fraud triangle, or rationalization and the pressure and all of that. You have people, this thing has been going on for a very long time. So they started a drip by drip. They've taken, using the insider threat of government officials, they bypass the whole security process. Not checking, but this suitcase and my suitcase, this thing is my thing. Nobody check it because you got people authority go there, grab the whole bag and let it go. So you don't go through the normal security process. So they started this thing based on a little research. They started this long time. They started small. They gave people small money and they hush. The reason we know now, other than international community bringing it, because they refused to give the people the money what they bribed that they wanted. And because the people say, you know what, you bring in 1 million, or how many million, 19 million, 50 million, you want to give me 50 or 20? No, give me 200,000 or give me this amount, and you won't give, okay, so we're going to whistleblow. And so that's what we are. But the fact that LDA will know the names, they have enough evidence. They have enough from documentation to CC camera, to whatever it is, all those information, enough evidence to call the names of these people. And because they're so high in authority or their relatives or whatever it is, and you're cheating these people, we have a greater problem there. We can go and name all the risks, including, international, how we look at international community and the scrutiny that we're going to go through. We have enough issues. We have more issues here with this thing. So I understand that, boy, got people talking about, the opposition running with this. I hope they understand the security implications of this. I know they understand, but they're ignoring it. But I will hope that LDA or Boaka will fire the people involved and put it out for investigation. You really need to do that. Even if it includes their own relative, he needs to do that. This is big, and then we fast forward to, I'm talking about what's on my mind now. Fast forward to this less simply thing. I understand they said that whatever the name is, LTMI, they open a set for scrutiny or investigation. I'm concerned about privacy, privacy of, Liberian people information. I don't know how Liberian government operate really. I'm concerned about fraud, duplication of, the plates and everything, even the database. How are you reconciling database to this whole manual, the plywood thing that you're doing and putting what people name and doing all this craziness? So those things, from a security standpoint, national issue, privacy, we can go down the list, just reputational damage. I'm really, really concerned about those things, Mr. Gayman. And hopefully the government will speak. I'm surprised that Mr. President Boaka is mute on this issue of drug of such magnitude. Mute. I'm surprised.
Yeah, Pewee, this is a front page Africa came up with this. It says, the Liberian Drug Enforcement Agency says it cannot name the people connected to the larger cocaine seizure of the Boaka administration without endangering the investigation. Yet, in the same breath, it named one guy. The man is called Emmanuel Zion, the courier who allegedly delivered 237.6 kilograms of cocaine to the cargo terminal at Rabat International Airport and fled. Was identified to the public within 6 days, and 6 others already in custody remain anonymous. That single inconsistently exposes what the fight over the case is really about. On Monday, June 8th, Joint Security Officers recorded this whole thing. Now they went and posted a picture of a guy in Grand Bassa by the name of Emmanuel Zion, only to find out that Emmanuel Zion been dead since 2018. So today, the Deputy Minister of Information, Sano, what's his name? Sano, eh?
Daniel Sano.
Daniel Sano came out and says the opposition planted fake photos and fake names. They didn't put out these photos. So I don't know what's going on with these people. I mean, they just can't even get this thing right.
They won't get it right, and it's difficult. I don't know. It needs to on the real footing. So to come and correct course, there will be a lot of complications and difficulty and complexity and mis and disinformation. So if you started something that you try to probably cover up for someone or for the government or someone very high-profile in government, it's going to be a difficult thing. There's no kind of a strategic propaganda communication you will indulge into going to help save the day. Now, to hear Daniel Sanders saying the opposition planted that, it's a sign of defeat. Losing. They are losing the propaganda war. So what they want to do now is to shift blame. It's a kind of blemish game they're going to now indulge into. And this is what's going to happen. They're not going to shift. And I don't think they're still going to succeed in doing this. You can only be good at the propaganda activities when you are in the opposition. And your responsibility is to say, Mr. Gayman a role. He running the defense. Oh, Pewee on me. When they were in the opposition, they did that to the We Are government. Oh, we are still $16 billion. The $25 million they didn't happen this way. This one happened, and then the CDC again, unfortunately, fell to that and didn't strategically engage the Liberian people, and that was just unfortunate, right? It was unfortunate, but everything they said was far from the reality at the time. Now we're back in the picture here. The ball came back and swung and got right into their own way. They should be now the midfielder tapping the ball back, but this is difficult. Now, if you are the ruling establishment of the government in the country, there's no room for propaganda. There's no try and error game here. You ought to get it right, or the Liberian people will see to it that, hey, you lie before, you're just very incompetent, but you just live on gossip and mis and disinformation to come to power. Now that you have the chance to govern, you are very unable to govern. You are incompetent and struggling to move the way to govern. Now, the fact Mr. Thanos shouldn't be even seeing this kind of a nonsense on public, on the taxpayer money being paid for these things. Because here is it. You are thought if there was anything of any serious magnitude or you wanted to help to disseminate strategic communication on behalf of the government, you should have engaged and advised in terms of the communicating pattern that the government should use in handling this situation. The first and foremost thing, the DEA press conference statement came out first and said that there was a classified issue about the arrest methodology here. Now, we all do know in terms of security application to this kind of a thing, you ought to first and foremost get the information on. Now, did they get the chain of custody first as to how things are moved up to? Because I'm getting information that there's some a cargo carrying company we have, logistic cargo carrying company that was also part of it. Did you, as a security apparatus, in terms of this, did you detail the entire process before coming up to say, oh, this is classified, this is that? The opposition didn't come up to say it was a classified thing. They didn't come up and say, okay, it was Myean. No one knew of Myean until this. No one knew of Myean. Now, yes, I will a little bit pivot to say, okay, then play the devil advocate on their behalf to defend them. Now, can we say we have more than 20 Myean? Perfect. Come and say the Myean is not the one that deceived, right? Or Yeah, I want to do that on the behalf, but they're incompetent. They cannot even do. If I was part of the whole communication team, the first I would move to say to them, we will put a public statement. The Myean being mentioned here is not the Myean people are alleging that they have died, right? This Myean is someone that our team is targeting, our investigation is targeting, that he was part of the delivery process here. We're trying to do everything to identify him. And then you push to get his photo, you publish the photo, say, we ask him like Brendan, you pour a bounty on his head. They are incompetent, Mr. Gayman. They are a bunch of incompetent people, both on the communication side of things, both on the security side of things, and both on the administrative in terms of the supervision of the country. The president should be the superintendent of the country. Is he supervising the country? Is he superintending well? No. One of those that supported him yesterday was stating clearly that the president, even though love to hear anything about national security, you say everything will go to the vice president. I don't lay a whole thing about national. It's a worrisome thing. It's concerning. Then they will struggle now and come and say, okay, this, and then the deputy minister is saying, yeah, he always known that one of the times he came to show, I reminded him. I told him the first thing he did was this is $10 million situation where I'm pushing up. Oh, he said, oh, that was a mistake. He came out the first statement. When I challenged him, I said, I've spoken to the ECOWAS folk, and I contacted ECOWAS folk, and they said to me, no, we didn't make the statement. When I put it there, he said, okay, no, that statement, he was just joking. He was just guessing on his Facebook page. A deputy minister of government propaganda of information team is saying to the Liberian people that he just was speculating. He was in a speculative move as a communication person to the government. So listen, they're going to run around this. They fail on this. So Karaki is going to be, to course correct, it's going to be very difficult. Now, and the way to get out of this is for the government now to start shifting blame back to the opposition that they are the one giving the message from. But it's going to be very difficult for them. Now, if they don't manage this, I conclude here, if they don't manage this thing very meticulously and put into place all the necessary coverage in terms of what they should do to protect the image of Liberia and the government, a lot of things that should happen to Liberia moving forward will be difficult. Airlines will want to start taking trust. If they plan to go, they will say no. We're not going to expose our airlines to, because if other big investors hearing that this airline will having this thing, that thing, this thing, it's a difficult thing. The country should not be seen as a kind of knockout. If half of it yet, I'm not suggesting, but I think we're getting closer. The system is very weak. The system is weak, and we if care is not taken, will be nearing a pariah kind of a failed state.
Victor, the argument that this paper is making is the excuse has always been we are on a staff, we are on a resource, we are on a man, we don't have equipment. We've been saying this since 2005. And the European Union and the World Bank, and they have put billions into this country. And every day they say, okay, we made a mistake, we need more training. And they keep going for training after training after training. Same result. So here we are. You and I travel to Liberia, maybe like me, twice a year. And every time that I'm getting on that plane, leaving Liberia, I have the eerie feeling, Lord, into your hands, I guess it's my life.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows whether terrorists have infiltrated our system and they got bombed on this thing. They have infiltrated our system and we got terrorists on here. Anything other Liberia is a scary feeling till you get to the next destination, Europe and all of that. It feels that way if you can see something like this where they have infiltrated the entire system. They own it, like the newspaper said. This is not by mistake. This is something they are so confident in their operation that they can pull this off. Most likely this is not the first and this will be the last.
No. For something so, an operation so brazenly organized, but first of all, let me remind, didn't we last week read the LDA director saying he had eliminated ghettos and all of that meaning, right?
No more.
That exactly, that there was They were so in charge, you understand me? And now they're telling us, they are undermanned and all of that. And coming back to the young brother, Daniel Sando, when you and I were in town, I met him at Savi. We had cigars together. He's a nice young fellow, very personable, I gotta say. And I think he demonstrates strong desire, to learn his craft. But let me remind my young friend, he has to be careful because the path that he's treading, right? The path he's treading, a lot of people have gone that way. I mean, people who come into government as government minister of information or so, and they begin to behave as though they are information minister for the party, right? We saw that Dotan. We saw Sally Thompson do that during the heydays of the war. Imane Buya, Jefferson Koji of late, over here you may want to go to Sarah Huckabee, Sean Spicer, Baghdad Bob. So people have gone the way he's going, and a good number of them have come out on the end very regretful. So I just wanted to remind him he's not the first person traveling this road, because I see him, he seems to be very quick, to come out swinging, and at many times I think he misses, his swing misses, So they tell us the government does not want to release these names of these people. They tell us a number, 6 people. They tell us that because this is so sensitive, they don't want to jeopardize the investigation. But then what part is Imane? Isn't it a part of the investigation? Are they not jeopardizing the fact that they're releasing him? Never mind the photo and all of that. They released this name, right? Yeah. So when they're talking, you can't be talking on both sides of your mouth. You got to be careful. Like I said, I heard him this morning. Musa Bilete was on OKFM, and he was calling in. The moderator had to reject his call. This is not what this is about. We're all about helping to keep our country safe. Sometimes the truth can be uncomfortable, but if you pay attention, you walk away with something. What we're dealing with here, Jerome, is way bigger than Liberia. This is, the consequences that this could engender. A lot of us, including those in Liberia and those of us here, if Liberia finds itself on a list of narco countries, right, the extra scrutiny that Liberia will be subjected to, all of us will suffer. You and I will traveling, our passport now become international pariah. You in Liberia, a whole lot of break load of sugar into my tea or whatever they call it could fall on all of us. And so, we're all talking, we're trying to protect ourselves. This does not look good. This does not look good. The information we're gathering is that they were forced to declare this because some other power bigger than the Republic of Liberia intervened and told them, look, this is so and so, so this cannot stand. So there are a lot of people who are watching this operation, and I'll caution my government to be very careful. It doesn't bring me any joy if any of them find themselves on the sanction list. That's not what we're looking for. Again, we're talking about for the greater good of everybody connected to Liberia. The way they're handling this thing, it does not look good. It does not look good. Again, almost 7 days now, and all we're getting is hush hush. We're getting international people reporting on the details of what is happening in our own country. And just like the government did with the Guinea border thing, we are learning about what is happening from outsiders than the people who we gave our government to run. Mount the podium and tell us what is going on, even if it is beyond you. Give us an explanation. I don't think that's too much to ask. Then even when they do that, they want to mislead us. You're calling opposition weak, but how strong does it make them look when they put in, who is stupid? You know, $19 million, others say $50 million operation. You put a young brother, you know, this is not an operation that a young brother like this will go and take to the airport and run away. Nobody's stupid. So Musa Belete was telling them this morning, the way bill alone can lead you somewhere, because that way bill has a lot of information. They're tracking information, they ship up, and the destination, all of these pieces of information are recorded on the way bill. So if you have that, you have something to go on, and nobody, I don't believe they don't know what is going on. But they're shooting people, and this thing will splash in the faces of the government, and really, it is not good. It is not good. It's not good. Like you said, it appears this is not the first round.
Dr. Peabody, according to the Sahel newspapers, or the Sahel report that is being circulating, they are not on the Kwasa kind of reporting paper. They are legit, and they call names, and they went down the list. I mean, from the police director to the president's son to the president's political advisor. I mean, down the line, what part they got to play, especially the man who is in charge of Liberia logistics. This is the man who receives, catalog everything that goes through the port and everything. His company, he's been in business since 17 years. He's been doing this. So this man is a pro in moving stuff. That's his job. He's the coordinator of logistics, moving things out of Liberia. His name is on it. There's no way they say this much drug we have gone through without the logistics of Liberia being involved.
Yeah, it's one little disconcerting and another piece that the people is coming. I didn't know this. One of my friends was telling my wife now yesterday. The Colombian embassy, right? The consulate, right? These major drop. Their consulate is almost inside the port of the Republic of Liberia.
Look at that.
Right at Jamaica Road Junction. So they come from the water, whatever they got to ship. You understand me? Why are we doing this?
But look, you see, Mr. Gayman, it will. I don't think Liberians have learned the lesson. I don't think Liberian government officials have learned the lesson. They forget. That's the problem that continuously destroys that country. People forget too much, too quick. I mean, within the twinkling of an eye, people forget. And that's why we are saying this. Or repeat it again. But yeah, it's a government who spent all the last 3-4 years. Everything they saw, President Myean could not fight drug. All the drug came to the country. All they free the people. We all didn't agree when they free those people, and the court kind of dropped the case and then left Liberia and stuff like that. But Garguah ran on the mad trap, because even day one, he made the Liberian people to know that he was doing drug test. He jumped up there and said, I'm doing the drug test. I mean, the fact is, and we'll always say this, the old man is old. I don't think he runs that country or know half of the things that happen in that country. And that's just the fact. We all will age. We all will get to a level where we'll be tired. We can't do much, you know. And I'm not trying to put him down, but that's him. I mean, he's old. What energy you expect that old man to exert at that age, at 80-something years old? You know, so he really can't do much. He's old. But again, this government know if there was a real independent arrest they have made, that thing will be published. They will have live press conferences around Monrovia. They will have people, they will go on the page, Daniel Sano, others will go there and say it. But the thing they fail to realize is Liberia is being watched. Like right now, even sending money to Liberia, sending huge sum of money to Liberia, it requires a lot, because Liberia is about one of those countries when it comes to money laundering. Yeah. You know, so it's so difficult, even through the banks. When you try to get huge sum of money to Liberia, you got to go through all kind of stuff. And even you do it one time, or maybe the second time, you could get in trouble. You could be blocked and stuff like that from sending money. And it's all because of these kinds of stuff. Now, if they like it's a Nagbe say, Liberia get into that drug stuff, it becomes difficult for all of us traveling to Liberia. Some of us who go there to do projects and do other stuff, it becomes difficult. So it's bad for the country. Unfortunately, we do not have the mechanism. The people are not being honest. That drug would have come into Liberia and just go away quietly if the international community have not been there for us to help us in some way. So it's getting bad for the country, and the authorities don't want to do anything. There are a lot of government officials who are involved in this money laundering thing. They're involved in all kinds of stuff in that country. Top one from the head. And it'll be difficult for our country. These people the American will laugh with you, but when it comes to real serious business, they will get you.
Oh, yes.
So don't think you're the darling boy right now for America. They will catch you when they're ready. Yeah.
The folks said it. Ronald Reagan said it in 1980. He says, America has no permanent friends. We have permanent interest. So if you are on the scene today and you think, oh, America lost me, and they do this and do that, you are wasting your time. You just don't know who these people are. But let me go to Pewee. Let's talk about security. For those of us who are not comfortable with flying all the time, right? Just imagine when you're flying out of a country where the security, just imagine all those things they're packaging, right? You don't know whether they were bomb or they were explosive. You just put them on a scale because you got some money and put it in a cargo. And here we are. Every time I'm going through that airport to leave, my heart is in my mouth until we get to Europe, and then we change plane before we get here. If this thing being happening, obviously according to the other reports, it's like you go into the judge and you're asking the judge, this is my first time, I'm a first time offender. The question is, you sure, or this is your first time being caught? This is what we are talking about. Let's talk about the security. You were in the foreign service, you flew a lot. Talk about, for people who are not comfortable flying, these are some of the reasons why people are not comfortable flying, especially out of third world countries.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just saying to someone quite recently we're having a conversation about the airport, the perimeter of the airport, even most of those machines that should help us detect these foreign issues that can be detrimental or more dangerous towards the aviation industry, of the security of the country, and even the security of the passengers and of the crew members. Most of our machines we currently using are all updated. I mean, it's unfortunate the lack of vision, the lack of planning in the country is even hampering our own well-being from the security perspective, if you will. Most of those machines are now up to date. Most of those machines that look at what we have at Kotoka International Airport and what they have at Lumbe, Dima International Airport, and see what they have at Felix Ofe-Boye Airport also. The last time I've been traveling through these airports, I have seen massive changes in terms of upgrading these machines again, because some of these machines now should detect as you walk towards them. They have to detect. They can even detect this water bottle top if they know that it's a strange object. It's going to appear there rather. Back in our country, if you even when you approach the gas, number one, before even you can put your machine to go through that machine, something, officer, what you got for us?
Yeah,
we ought to change that. These people should not even communicate with passengers in that manner. We don't communicate with TSA officers here when we're doing that. They just come here, they give you instructions. You put your hand, the guy that wear those gloves that can detect. Those gloves alone are security gloves. Do you know that? These gloves can detect something. These gloves they use, the gloves, imagine. So they put the money for these things. We don't have to have the claim to that. We don't have to have that, but we can put into place measures. But one thing we have to do is to, and that's the very serious thing, to ask these guys to start communicating with passengers. Oh, we have no water for us. You pay these people. How you amount, Mr. Gayman? These are the dangerous things we have in the country.
But even immigration, when you come in, immigration,
yes. You do that. So, any man that's part of any cartel, they will say, hey, that place, don't worry, man. They will send their agent. The agent will go and tell them, oh, my Archie come here. But how many men working here today? Oh, it is. Yeah. Don't even get there, get them 500 for the crew that day. You can anything you want to do to get this. Oh, it's wrong.
Yeah.
It's wrong. Too many George and I told him I didn't work because when I pushed my son into, he came here there. I told him when we passed, was sitting there in the business lodge, the business class lodge, drinking, and I was telling him, I said, you see how vulnerable we are when we're traveling from this country.
Yeah.
I said, why is this a dangerous person that want to cause trouble? And the government will be having this kind of thing going on, and nobody from the top line in terms of security system paying attention to these things. So you're right. Nobody, even at the time when you travel, because you don't even know. And that's one of the reasons some travel because we don't know who all got on the flight with us. There are other countries they show you got to pass through this thing. The person they're watching up because you have to protect the integrity of the country. Because if anything were to go wrong, God forbid, with big flight in Brussels, do you know what's going to happen? If Brussels were to stop coming to Liberia, do you know what's going to happen? Do you know what's going to happen? Because we all now going to be coming via Accra, and then using the other smaller plane to come of Abidjan and other areas. We ought to fix the problem and pump some money into national security. But the security people themselves are not prepared. And that's one of the reasons why, Mr. Gayman, we all have to take our last time. I said the last book we want to learn in this country, we have to leave from all our diplomacy to learn to go to school and learn some technical thing about security and go by and help the country. That's the role we really want to go and do. We don't seem to be getting it at all in terms of the coverage, in terms of the homeland security protection, in terms of mechanism that should be deployed for the structural implementation, in terms of hiring, in terms of incentivizing those folks who don't incentivize them. The men go to work for around 12, 14 hours. His monthly salary is $200. And you're expecting to detect the people. So the man is forced to say, because he needs to go home and leave full money for the next day. So that's the problem. That's the dilemma the country is currently in. And to remove ourselves from the quagmire, it's a serious conundrum the country is faced with. And if we cannot collectively put effort together, and this can come from the top, so you need a president that will be kind of a national security president to push and say we need to protect this liberal country. Other than that, we're going to be in this process for a very long time. And that's one of the reasons why we're just fortunate that we bust this thing up. But I want to believe these guys were using our country as a transit point to distribute that nonsense they're doing. And I will hope we'll call on the international community. The European Union should take a firm action here, and that of the U.S. government. We know the U.S. government is going to do something, and going to do something very reasonable that we will all be happy about. And I know that for a fact. Because that cannot be considered to always, we cannot allow that rather to continuously happen in the country. Or that you're going to expose all of this.
Let me just say this, Sylvester, because I want you to come back to it. And Jerome, I know you're the monitor. But look, if you notice, I mean, you're a man of diplomacy, tell me if I'm wrong. When the Trump government came in, they struggled a little bit on how to deal with Liberia. You remember?
Yeah. Victor, 1 minute. I'm going to take a walk around.
Okay. So if you remember, at first, they said they couldn't read our passport and all of that. They put us on a list of extra screening. They gave us 60 days and blah, blah, blah. Then they took us off. Then they put us back again on the visa restriction. Now they made us one of the processing centers now because they're closing out most of the other centers around the world, especially, I think there are only 20 in all of Africa. We're one of them. But I'm saying this to say we have to be very careful. Yeah, America is not the only country. Yeah, if we don't come to America, so what? But we have a very long-standing relationship with America. It will mean a lot for us to begin to cultivate a new relationship with our one. And we have to be careful here because the kind of signals that we're sending out right now, they're not looking good. And like I said, I understand we were alerted by the foreigners that this is what was coming through the airport, and that's how the whistle was blowing. So there are a lot of eyes on us, and we want to be very careful because a lot of us could suffer. Because if few people want to get a quick dollar, like you were saying, somebody coming through the airport, you're talking about the TSA, somebody just ran the road that they paid them. Yes, they paid them on time. Not only that, they disciplined them. Recently, there was a story of a young kid who was taking things out of people's stuff. They find him out, they send him packing. So, we have to take this government business seriously. But most of the time, that's what we're talking about. This whole cover up. Oh, that my cousin's son. Oh, that my friend. You know, that my best friend. Oh, my people. You know, they met by myself. Go to the same church. You know, yeah, we are intersecting in many different ways. But once you set your guidelines, no matter who fall outside of the guidelines, I think the axe should come down. I think that will help us go a long way in putting in place a system that works. But right now, we're defeating the system. We have a lot of good things in place, but we're not allowing them to work.
Absolutely. We're not allowing it to work. And we ought to allow to start reverting to the system, allowing the system to work too. It's going to help us a lot. Other than that, if we don't behave, because we have to put into place and respect the bureaucracy. If there's a system here, we respect it. And those that are playing the role, and that's the only reason we sometimes overlook. Because security, you need to pay a lot of money for security.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, and you further expose the country, because even though that should be, because to really discipline someone, I mean, it just is a difficult thing. What you be paying somebody that should be protecting things that some people making $200, $150, $175.
Exactly.
I mean, it's difficult to even open my mouth to talk yet. So when you see the folks doing these things, we have to do it. And every time when I'm passing from me, when it's on there, we have to do. My problem is not to give Mr. Nagbe and Gayman. That's not my problem. My problem is, why if the dangerous man got to do the give in the mail, see that vulnerability, he would take advantage of that and just think things through that may cause some serious damage, that may bring some reputational problem and other thing. I mean, so it's a situation that we all collectively we have to see as to have to want to engage it. You need a president that will come and say, hey, it's about time we change this country. We have to build our schools, our hospitals, our roads. But the country will have to come, the president will have to sit there and say, but it's my responsibility to protect the territorial integrity of this country. We need to pump some money into national security. And by doing that, we need to hire people of moral standing, impeccable character to deploy into sensitive national security areas of the country, like the airports, the free ports. And we maybe move to the system and say, okay, we need to autonomize the security of the states. I mean, in terms of our transportation administration. Can we autonomize it? Or can we say we will put it under the part of the responsibility of the National Security Agency, NSA, can recruit special? We need to do that. Because we don't have, the country is not like a big industrial country like here, like the TSA, all the country, all the airports. Not like that. We don't have two airports. One is active, one is inactive. The Gin Spring Airport is not active yet. Sometimes we receive airlines, but that's not line. Can we say we will hire, just the country, Mr. Gayman, we say the country will hire special forces that recruit those guys, train them, 50 persons, pay them well. And that your responsibility, then you bring the state-of-the-art machines and give to them, train them. And you see the kind of improvement in our place. You see people will come and say things. There's no compromise, man. That's what we're talking to you. Pay them good money, 50%. We can find the money and say, okay, we'll pay each person here $1,000 for this job, or $800. We start with $800 for this job. You'll see people, nobody want to be fired for not getting $800 Liberia.
That's correct, because you have to have something to lose.
Yes.
Okay? If you pay me $180 after taxes, let's say I can sell chicle, I can sell water and make more than that. Yes, I can sell water and make more than that a month. Yes. So I'm not you can't scare me. You come to the airport, you say, let's say I'm going to fire you for the $200 job you're doing.
Yes.
Like that's sort of like scare me.
So the day you see anything I will give you will be 10, 15, 20,000. You start take it, man.
Oh man, please. That's something you would make in 20 years, because if you make $200 a month, that's $2,000 a year. Okay? If somebody give you $20,000, that's 10 years salary, right? 10 years salary you're making one day. Tell me, welcome back to the show. The people here said they don't know where you went, but I told them our resident nurse told us after hour 30 minutes, 2 hours, we gotta walk around a little bit.
Right.
You know, we're not spring chicken. You know what I mean? So
right.
My doctor always tell me on your flight to Liberia, every 2 hours,
you
gotta walk the length of the plane.
Exactly.
If you were scared to be riding plane, just hold the seat and go.
For me, fortunately for me, nobody. I don't like, and I'm a frequent flyer, but I don't like to be on the plane. So, but that's one of the cooling part for me, right? When I walk down the tunnel, I definitely comfortable.
Right.
But yeah, other side that one you don't want to see me do. When I walk into the Tomalin hip,
I let you hear the word. What can we pray? Blood of Jesus. Can we tell the Holy Ghost prayer?
well, one day happy thing here, I felt the other Oma laughing at me. I say, Oma
laughing.
One coming guy to a top line, only that told me to go tell I made a straight in the plane. I said, me and you holding the thing. Actually, I go tell you, and you go tell you, go tell I made a tell I made a tell straight in the plane.
Everybody free, he told.
Yeah, so
no, but you know, I heard Pewee talking about the technology, the training, the payment. All of that is good, Pewee. The critics consider it's a collusion in the inside. That's my problem. Because you can have all those technology, but when you have that insider trading, you have that collusion with it. There was separate all your technology, everything else you got over there.
You're right.
That is the biggest problem.
That's it.
I feel like these people need to have also, an independent committee or body or whatever it is to really do all these investigation and audits or whatever it is, or this airport and this whole drug thing. Very independent outside of Liberia, independent third body. And it's funny because the gentleman to the airport there, he's my childhood friend. I know Ernest very well, went to school together, very bright guy. And besides that, he started in corporate in Big Five. You were working for Deloitte for a very long time. Then he went to Walmart, everywhere else. The point I'm making that he understands audit, internal control, security, everything. I'm sure he's trying to keep his job, and that's why he just letting things fly under the radar. Because Ernest been here over 20 years in America, sat on the table at C-level. He was C-level executive. He started as regular auditor, rose higher. To sit down under his watch and just close him off to all these things and let these things to just be going on him and no and not. So then I'm not only am I ashamed, I'm disappointed, I'm taking it back. But I understand people can be correct in America. When they go to Liberia, they're a totally different person. I'm taking it back. That even me.
Yes, quickly, sorry. And the reason is the system will correct you.
Yeah.
The system will corrupt you.
Right.
And force you to fall in line.
Right.
But he could make a change.
He could make a change. There are some people who bring a change because Ernest, besides being the audit, whatever it is, Ernest has a fraud background because we all have fraud background. He's the kind of way and I say I know he very well, went to school together, right? So these are the people that will deploy other oil and gas company, Walmart will deploy when they have an issue somewhere. He goes in, fix that whole process from start to beginning, from beginning to end. So how can you not do the same thing at the airport? And you honor your watching all of this going through, and you close your mouth because it's government. You want to keep your job because you want to be in Liberia. You've tired with corporate America and all of that. It's shameful. It's very shameful for people that we know that should do better. You do the right thing or you just resign. Just resign. But to honor your watch, even the LDA don't want to disclose by professional standards and all the certifications that you carry, including your educational experience, you should be able to disclose these things. You should not be. You're supposed to be subjecting these things to investigation or audit and calling these names because you have all the evidence. As the airport boss, you have the evidence. You have it, and you're sitting on it. And it's fraudulent as well.
Exactly.
Tell me.
Go ahead. Do we not have? Let me put it this way: is the airport got the traffic point here? Is that as important that he got? That's where I'm coming. Is the airport now well surveillance?
I believe so because there's no way you can have an airport don't have a CCTV camera, so they can destroy all the logs. That's what I said. They have the logs. They have the cameras, but when they want to do the criminal thing, they will destroy all of that.
Anyway,
they will destroy all of that.
You were here. You saw.
They said the finger on the camera.
That's right.
Yes. And he knows about that because he has the fraud background, he has the audit background and everything, and forensic background as well. So he knows about these things, but he wants the money to keep his job.
Yeah, but
people will carry and say your own friends are on you. I will spare no one.
But that's why that's the kind of people they want. A man who has such an integrity that nobody can question what he says. That those are the people that want. You and I live in America here. We work, we make good money, but we earn it the old-fashioned way, right? There's no way till we can make $20,000 in one sitting in one day. It's you win a contract. Your contract is you do from A to Z. At the end of the day, you get paid. If it's not done, you are not paid. You're sitting in your office and somebody is bringing $50 million drug and wanted to be pushed through, and come and say, you know what, 50 grand for you. Let's get this thing through. You know how long it takes you and I here. Do you know how long it takes us to have 50,000 in your savings or in your 401k? Right. And someone dropped that on your table one day. Right. And you do this maybe 2-3 times a year. So what they are making here, your diploma or your certification, or sometimes you wonder, how much does one person need to survive? How much?
It's just greed.
Yeah, how much? I mean, $50 million, because somebody said it here. Said if they are reporting 19 million, there's more to it than that.
I said that last week.
Right. And then today, and then this week, that report came out of Sahel that it was actually $50 million. So where is the report? These people did not say they said. They name names and they gave reason how these things happen.
Mr. Gayman, those people have all the documents for everything. They have the cameras. They have names. They have the guy who inspected the entire package, who registered it. They got the whole chain from end to end. They're sitting on that evidence because they got big names and big titles tied to it, and it's a shame. It is a shame.
The guy said to bring that much quantity or anything in the country, got to have security clearance, police clearance, escort. So you know where that's going all the way to the top.
Of course.
So this is where this thing is coming from, and it is. But let's go to the other topic here. This one here, Abu Kamara, if you were on, I just wanted you to come on because I know you keep saying you come into the comment section, you make one comment and you run. This one is said they hail the Liberia jury system as heroes. The jury acquit ex-LTA acting chairman Abdullah Kamara of all corruption charges. This is after the president awarded him as a man of integrity. So it's a Councilor Amara Sharif, lead defense attorney for Abdullah El Kamara, praised the 12-member jury Friday after he acquitted the former acting chairman of the Liberian Telecommunication, LTA, on all corruption counts, calling the verdict a victory for truth and restoration of faith in the Liberian jury system. The unanimous not guilty verdict came from the Second Judicial Circuit Court in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County, ending a high-profile case that prosecutors said involved the misappropriation of money, blah, blah, blah. The courtroom observer said the room fell silent as the former read not guilty to all 6 charges: economic sabotage, abuse of public finances, criminal conspiracy, theft, misapplication of entrusted property, and criminal facilitation. The counts carry potential prison term, long years, and were tied to allegation of economic sabotage. The lawyer said faith had been restored, Councilor Sharif told reporter outside the courthouse. We, the defense team, are not the heroes. The jurors are the heroes and heroines, and the country should be proud of the system. These are the same guys who said the jurors that found Samuel Pewee not guilty were tempered with, and that they were misinformed, they were ill-informed, they were ill-equipped, and that the government need to appeal to the Supreme Court. The same people are saying here that the truth, this is victory for truth and restoration in Liberia's system, the jury system. Tavi, I've never, well, I won't be surprised, but this country never ceases to amaze. These people, just a few weeks ago, were going around saying the jury system in Liberia should be abolished. In fact, they were bribed to come back with no verdict. Now, no guilty verdict. Now, here we are. They are now hailing the jury system as the truth. They care for the truth.
Oh, they see your favor. I don't want to stay in Liberia, I swear.
Man, Dopoh you go answer that review. You go answer.
Yeah, you go out. Just see it. Yeah, Victor. The man said the verdict of freeing Kamara after the president awarded him the citizen of integrity. Some people said this was jury tampering. This man is on the verge of being convicted of serious charges.
Yeah. Okay.
And while the jurors were deliberating or about to deliberate, the president awarded this man in public, pinned him.
Wow.
A man of moral integrity. And the jury followed suit and found him not guilty of all charges. And now they are saying this is victory for truth.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, quickly, we're talking about the drugs thing. I didn't have a chance. I just wanted to remind our listeners, for those who might be trying to visualize the quantity we're talking about. The reporting 237.6 kilograms at 2.2 pounds per kilo. That is over 5 bags and a half of rice. That's the quantity we're talking about. So it's not something somebody can just grab a bag and walk with. You know, it requires a lot of coordination. It's a heavy lift.
So that skinny Zion couldn't lift those 5 bags of rice.
Exactly, almost 5.5 bags of stuff. But I just wanted to, but to the point you're making, Jerome, I made this point to somebody too. We're talking about it over the weekend. Sometimes the president, he's really a lot of people, Liberia, the president can never go wrong. We always talk about the handlers, the people who are advising the president. That man are good men over the people who are advising. They said the same about all of them. But sometimes the president, maybe against the advice is getting, but sometimes he makes some moves that are so brazen, you wonder whether he really cares about anything. This is the man, just as you indicated, he's in the throes of an investigation. He's about to, an investigation is ongoing. And then you go and paint the man, and as a man of integrity. What are you telegraphing? It's just like the way he went to the Capitol building on the day following the fire incident and pronounced a judgment. You understand me? On who he thought set the fire to the Capitol building. Well, you're the president in Liberia. When you
he called them hooligans.
He called them hooligans, right? People don't want Liberia or something he said, But when you do that as the president of Liberia, your actions, your telegraphing, there's a lot of weight attached to the president's action and his speech. So when the president he's supposed to be a wise, elderly statesman, but sometimes I really wonder how much thought the president puts into some of the things that he does. When you paint that man who is under investigation, I don't care who the man is. The fact that you get and put hands on me and hands on him and put him in camera and set him on stage, you have virtually declared a man.
Right.
Yes. You understand me?
Yeah, you already compromised the independence of the case.
Thank you very much.
You already sway the jury's opinion. If you opinion that man on that jury, you think I'm coming to do it otherwise? They're not going to do otherwise because
that is the classic example of putting your finger on the scale to tip the scale in favor,
right,
of one of the parties. That's what the president did. So the fact that he's coming back, I mean, not guilty on all charges. Are we going to be surprised here? I am. I mean, I'm not. I think the president already handed him his non-guilty verdict by virtue of him bringing him in public, painting him and bestowing upon him, the virtue. I think the man of integrity. How is that? That does not make sense. How? But anyway,
I think President Baka is not coherent. He doesn't know what's happening in the environment. I certainly agree to that. He's not coherent. I'm convinced now that people just running circles around President Boycott. That he doesn't know what's going around. I'm really convinced.
Mr. Nagbe, he made a statement recently.
Yes.
Yeah. The president.
I told me what the time here the guy was seen together on photo and they were trying to look for.
No. When he pinned him, I got an article here. When he awarded him, pinned him, put a pin, the pin on him, and then call him the man of integrity.
I started seeing the photo recently, but the fact of the matter is, it happened while this man was under investigation. You understand me? Whether it was, a couple months back, but it happened.
Yeah. Your government will be investigating someone, and you, the head of state, will come and say that probably. Yeah. What I suspect now is that the case. I suspect here that maybe they paid the jurors to death for him not guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because what they did.
There were other instructions to say maybe that the real.
That the real juror temporary right there, right?
Yeah, the real. Yeah, seriously. There's no way possible. You expect the presidency of the Republic of Liberia, the presidency is a very powerful institution.
Yeah.
Whenever the president were to say anything, that weight alone.
Yeah.
If the president were to come and Garguah will sit with him on a program, then he comes and says, "Oh, nephew, Pewee come." And he started going, "My nephew, a strong nephew."
Yeah, he's very good. I knew he was
day. The next day, if I would go to the minister of public, where I say, "Man, they contract your dream, your guy, what they want." Oh, not gonna. But you see me telling you, you ain't now.
Why?
What will the document in?
Finish. You remember time Gongloe said, I think recently, whatever the president wants, the president gets. I mean,
one of the late Parliament chief, but there he was the head of the traditional council before during Judy Byron time, but he's late now.
I heard that story, but go ahead. I think that the story you're going to tell.
Very savvy political woman. The woman told us one time was I'm drinking palm wine. He said, he said, you see, President Topoh, Totman. He said, all the things people do things. It happened in Lofa country. The man say, when you want to do things, don't go around and say, Topoh here, Topoh say, I say, Totman rather. Topoh will call, Tavi, what you want from me? Add the other old man, add the other chief. Then the day that thing went down, the chief of Lofa, the king of the president down is a good mansion. So when they were going on, then the president asked you, what gift do you want from the president? They won't go say, the president, I want this amount of money. The president again. And after we asked the president, okay, I want this, I do my cocoa fund, I pay no house, the president give. Everybody start getting the thing. They went to the woman, asked the chief from Myean. Then the president told the president, I want nothing from you.
I want nothing.
Okay. The only thing I want for you, your country tour are coming. When you come to the country, I will be way outside when you ask for your friend. When you say, "Where's my friend?" He come and where's my friend? I'll be outside. And the only thing I want you to be patient, Mr. President. When you call me, I will delay small. Then you ask, "You want my friend?" I will walk. Everybody will see me. The president say, "You sure?" I said, "Yes." President said, "You done that." And Totman was a very strategic president, but how he ruled the country for long.
Of course.
How he used to behave. And then the president left. After 6 months, the president announced the country tour. The president robbed the whole back. That you didn't get some back. The woman said, "Not to his website, you'll see something in the pair today." Go ahead, pound one, other things. So the poor gang, they went through the pool, they played back. The poor gang about to start before the president could speak. The president said, president called I come out call it, the president called the ADK for the president in Lofa.
Yeah.
ADK to ground. Then he announced it, he heard the whole place. He said, "Where's my friend?" Called the woman. They all the other people said, but he's not here. No, so my wife, I guess my friend say it took like 2-3 minutes. The woman walked.
Oh, the friend coming.
Yeah. President said, "Cancel that."
Oh, that's it.
He sat on the matter.
President finished speaking. President left. That man was the king of loafer.
Of course.
So that story is
the president friend, yeah.
Yeah.
President friend. So
friend, let me.
It goes to say, yes, it goes to say how powerful the Liberian presidency is. Any presidency is. Even yet today, you see what can happen.
Right.
So the presidency is enormously powerful to the extent that, and that's why they ask the president, normally the president should not make a kind of statement in certain cases because it ought to temper with the verdict of that case.
Right.
If the president paying that guy, and today we have the real case of jury tempering. It's not the similar to a case. It should be the real one we should be talking about now.
Yeah.
Because the president may have psychological, if the money didn't change here, psychological. Why if all the people are United Party, most of them are United Party people? So they say, our chief now told already, man. They found the man not guilty.
And they did two things. The first thing they did was Liberia is something else. They moved the case from Monrovia to Buchanan. Can you imagine? You took the case from Monrovia, he said the case is polarized in Monrovia, so I want to take it to Buchanan. Upper Buchanan, where nobody lives, just few people. And they allowed that to happen. The people that observed the decision yesterday, they said they were shocked because the decision didn't jive with the evidence. How can they say? They said the former of the jury came out and just said, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. No evidence, no reason. Just said the man is not guilty. They said the audience was shocked. But that's how let's go to my friend. Oh, it's 8 o'clock already. Let's do this real quick. My own sister and friend, they say the Speaker of the House, Kuhn, was in Buchanan with the Kanga Lawrence, and they taught the legislative first quarter wins. It says Grand Bassa County, Buchanan, Grand Bassa, the House of Representatives, Speaker Richard Nagbe Kuhn and Senate President pro tempore Nyobli Kanga Lawrence used a government town hall Thursday to lay out what they call the legislature's strongest first quarter ever recorded under Boyka administration, pointing to the massive tax reform, new agriculture bank, and amended mining deal with Estella Metal, a budget increase that have pushed educational spending to $95 million in 2024 to $143 million this year. The two presiding officers appeared together at the third edition of the Ministry of Information, Kapa Kalono, Come Let's Talk, I guess Pele, Kapa Kualono, in parentheses, the interpretation, the Come Let's Talk It program held at the fairgrounds in Buchanan under the theme, Bridging the Gap, Legislative Oversight, Citizens Engagement, and National Development under the Arrest Agenda for Inclusive Development. Kuhn said the first quarter of the third section of the 50th State Legislature concentrated on job creation, their success story. Job creation, Nagbe, your government said that they were job creation, investment, infrastructure, agriculture, public services, and he walked the audience through a series of measures he said will have a different effect on Grand Bassa County and the neighboring counties. The action he highlighted was a passage of tax reform. Now, when they say tax reform in Liberia, who pay taxes in Liberia? Like you go to people who are homeless, they are jobless, and you say we pass tax reform. How does that affect the people? Tell me, you the tax person here. You go to places where unemployment 90%, and you say we did great, we did tax reform. You are muted.
What's the evidence of all that nonsense? It's easy to put stupid stuff on paper and just can't be dumping words outside there. If they know they're serious, they need to subject themselves to audit. Before you increase your budget, you need to do a feasibility study or risk assessment. What did you do before you increase your budget? Subject yourself. What I want to see put in the report to say, as part of the reform we've done, we've agreed that we will subject ourselves to an annual audit. We're going to do this. We're going to make sure that we have controls in place so that we can safeguard the data privacy issues that we have here and start using Gmail and other things for government issues. Those are the things. You take an education ministry and get a 95,000. What is 95,000? The county that the people budget for school system here. Before you can't talk about 95,000, you can't be taking it as a bachelor honor. What's wrong with those people over there?
I say, the folks, Victor, the man said on agriculture, Cohn said the legislature has established the Agriculture Enterprise Development Bank to give farmers access to loan and grants, and has expanded the mandate of the Liberia Agriculture Commodity Regulatory Authority to strengthen commodity regulation, encourage private sector participation, and widen the market access. He called the sector central to Liberia economic future and food security. I don't know who these people think we are. Where is the bank, and what money are they loaning, and what access and what grant? Government get grant in Liberia?
No, let me tell you this. And I know people will be typing here, oh, that your namesake, and I have absolutely no respect for Roger Cohn. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Remember the man went to JFK? How much money did he pledge there? Don't you remember?
Yeah, they were
20 million.
Thank you very much. So,
can I get money?
It didn't get anything.
The mistake they made, they didn't ask whether it was 20 million Liberia or
even that, he didn't get a 20 million Liberia. No, this is a government MOU. You know that another MOU. Seriously though, what I want to call our attention to is Speaker Cohn, in this short period he's been in office, his tenure is a tenure by a lot of violence against democracy. Remember back in November, this man threatened journalists for trying to recall the proceedings at the House, right? He has supervised the removal of Yeke Koluba. He threatened to remove Marvin Cole for sitting in his chair. This is the man who I understand was getting ready to invite Namote for their reporting. So this man has to be careful. He's a crew man, get a crew let a quitty business, but this whole House of Representatives not quitty place. He let him try and sit down with Tabata. Almost every day he wants to beat somebody up. And this level of violence that he's using and exercising against our democracy, I just want to urge my young brother to be careful. He could do a lot of good, as controversial as his ascendancy to the speaker position, is. He's not helping the situation by the way he's conducting himself. I don't know who advises him, and I think we hosted his chief of staff on the network at some point. Very, very well, well educated young fellow, but I don't know whether he listened to people like that around him. His conduct really, to me, is really beneath the office that he occupies. Now I'm not even talking about his social life, where there's violence against women. You understand me? Invite women to come into the room and start to undress himself. You understand me? I mean, what kind of man is this? And this man is still sitting at the Capitol building as the speaker. Funanti Kufa never even did anything close to that, and yet he was removed. So, when they're going to Buchanan, that your hometown, so whatever promise they made, you understand me? I will just take it and wear my rear end with it and throw it out in the trash, unless maybe you only can come and deliver on that. But I don't expect Roger Cohn to deliver anything. He just goes around and talk funny talk. That's what it is. You're not delivering nothing.
So deliver on that part, what the jobs they created, they giving it to the family. That's the job they created. That's what it is.
Tax regulation, tax reduction, tax reform. How you talk to someone, Pewee, if the unemployment in Monserrato is 80%, just imagine what it is in Basra. Then you go there, you talk about tax breaks, tax reform.
I don't know what kind of tax reform break they want to do.
Well, you know the old man who making the boy, you know the food. You want to get that tax break. Because they were trying to tax those food play about $50 or something like that.
Oh yeah. I remember they were talking
about the tax policy. I think we don't even focus the taxation policy of the country. It's a little just stupid in nature, and it's harming the country for our growth. Now, even most of the tax breaks, if you want to give tax break, there's a way to do it that will benefit the country. Look at lack in that part of the country we have in part of Grand Bassa and other areas. Lack, if you serious about giving tax break, call lack today. You see the road I'm pushing from this place to your plantation, pave the road will get you break. That's a structural thing, and that's the way.
17 miles.
17 miles road.
Since 1958.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that. Pave the road will get you break. That's the way many other countries would do. But when they did a stupid thing to get Farmington Hotel 30 years tax break, for what reason?
For them to go later inside with a girlfriend in for free.
What reason? You know, so sometimes the tax laws of the country, and it's increased, it's moving, and even harming ordinary Liberians that are now encouraged now to even send things through. They have to do it via Conakry or Lomé, Togo, and they allow folks to drive that distance. To send your vehicle, all the things to Togo, Lomé, and people will drive 2 days to Liberia or into Guinea, Conakry, drive for almost sometimes almost 24 hours or a little over that to get there. You can't even pay another series of taxes to get the vehicle out. To get a vehicle, to get a vehicle. I mean, you don't just want to start discussing the tax issue. It's troubling. So there's a need. The legislature were to go back and do a total rehaul of our taxation law and structure it in a way that will be appealing for more people to carry things to the country. Pass an act, push Freeport to be the Freeport, proper Freeport. That's what the folks have done in Lomé, Togo. That's the Freeport. You will free a vehicle in Lomé, Togo, so now for the rate, the tariffs will be less than $1,000. And that's why if you went to Lomé, Togo, you will see from the distance, you sit in Lomé, and you see the port there. You see chain of vessels landing to dock in the hundreds every day. Because everybody's on Benin, we have 2 landlocked countries right at the back there. Benin, all the things, they come through Lomé. Everything. Even I'm told from most of the goods that come from Mali, other people will send it up. And that of them, some of them will come to Guinea, Conakry also to go that in. The trade and commerce strategy we have is not working for us. We need a robust trade and commerce strategy and reform a taxation law of the country that will impact and try to push our revenue generation up higher. Then we start making some other money. You are strategically located. The port of Monrovia. You have the port of Hapo. Like whoever even help Cote d'Ivoire. Cote d'Ivoire is a very big country. The port of Hapo could get most of the things. You reduce it. Most of the people bring that goods and get it goods and transport. The only thing you have to do now is for commerce purposes, you build a road between Cote d'Ivoire and that of the brother. That should be well paved and handled. And they will handle it from the end. But we haven't been doing that. And if we did that, if we send all those posts we have, where you can decentralize those ports. You need someone very creative and that would think outside the box to reform that bureau.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're talking about being creative, and we're going to look at the Liberian people when we're talking about being creative and doing things that sometimes, like Tevi is saying, right? You got some of these folks and you look at their resumes, right? And you said, this person is an outstanding citizen that have proven himself or herself abroad, well across when it comes to system management, system everything. And then they get to Liberia and you hear about what's happening here. Well, and like the Daily Observer just said, we know exactly what you're going to say, that the system is undermanned, it's understaffed, it lacks equipment. These are things that you do deliberately. You know, people, the chakla thing and say, we want to do it right, but everything is just messed up. I can't even find a report. There's no data control. There's no, man, this country been running for the past 20 some more years, and you still complain about the same thing. It was, well, we just came from war. We are understaffed. We don't have equipment. We don't have this. We don't have 20 some more years later, all the billions that have been put into the country. And then you're coming out here telling us that the airport is understaffed. The airport is underperforming because they don't have equipment. It's underperforming because the people are underpaid. All these things you've been saying for 20 years. Why haven't you corrected these things?
Right.
You say the same thing every year. Your budget has gone up to $1 billion, yet and still you have not been able to make the correction on these things. Well, Telvi, thank you very much. We've been here 3 hours.
I know. Is Yaka back though? From visiting a friend?
Yeah, yeah. See,
I want you to hit the fries from Yaka's visit.
Kehleboe, are you doing that, sir?
Well, Kehleboe, come on, me up there. Yeah, but I'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah, even we've been using the war as an excuse every time to go out to look for money.
Right.
We went to war. The war killed 250,000 people, and we lost everything. How many times? How long are you going to sing this one song? This one airport they have put money in. When Joseph Walker came, they had the whole Muhammad family. They came over. They said they donated generators, they donated police cars, they donated everything to make this one airport. And here we are today. They are saying we can't find no data because we are understaffed. We don't have
they like the weakness in the control so they can continue to steal. Because having to really put process in, it doesn't take much. Few computers, few paid tools, few CCTV camera, you good to go, and with whatever you have to start with to start closing things. They enjoy it because they use that to manipulate and continue with a fraudulent behavior, including the new batch that came. They're just using the war thing as a cover-up. The last airport report, the money that the board taking, the revenue they're generating from all of that. You want to tell me they can't do better over there? From leadership to leadership to leadership to leadership. You want to talk about war being over. Why you can't say the war and you collecting the money that you're collecting? You say, oh, we got war, so I can't take the pay that I'm taking. These people, last time I was thinking about this whole corruption in Liberia. I said the people are so corrupt to the place that even say the truth, it's so hard for them to do it. Think about the Mo Ali fabricate number. Think about the other woman that says she need 4 million. They just throw numbers all over the place. It's so hard to get through because the whole system just corrupt. It's difficult. And then this government just throw numbers all around, think that they're talking to a bunch of morons. I don't understand. We have a far way to go, and I'm worried about the next generation, the generation after. But I think this is going to be like a generational curse, because the example they're setting now, this generation is watching it and they think that that's best practice and that's the way to go. They jump in, they do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. I don't know where we're going. But this is too pathetic to call this place my home. We love Liberia, but this is pathetic. Something has to change.
Well, Flex Attorney is saying the solar farm worth $25 million. They come out and they say they paid $90 million US. Can you imagine?
The country have to move.
People, you have been the longest. You're closing.
Yeah. But before then, let me say, I think I said something about Benny being a landlord, but Benny is not actually. Thank you, my dear friend, Ruben, dear from Arizona. Yes, Benny is actually not this. I've talked about Mali also. It's Mali and Burkina Faso, but Benin is not a landlocked. Just talk to provide that clarification quickly. Yeah, but yeah, basically, the country is a great country. What we will lacking is great and sincere leaders. If we can just put into place the records of policy, we have some good laws on the books, but the problem is that we lacking the willpower to do these things, and I think it's important that the country will have to now move out to some leadership. My fear is that I think we have more than one person in charge of the country, and if the responsibility of the country is scattered in a lot of different groups, we wouldn't get to nothing. The presidency, we have almost 4 different groups in the presidency. And then there's, so the president is not in charge of the presidency, but it's rather some of his proteges. We have scattered agenda around the president. So these are folks that are running the line. The vice president and his group, the diplomatic cable was very clear. Some of us have been to understand diplomatic cables. Diplomats do speak to gossip. And sometimes they speak to gossip, and those gossips are realistic things, and they do those things and channel it to their sending to their country and other things, and they act on that very seriously. If you saw this guy that would go to jail but eventually free him, the WikiLeaks thing that came up, most of those we all followed that very Judah. So the ambassador said some things that are very revealing. That the mining sector is being controlled by one person, the vice president. He brought one of his own kinsmen to take control of the mining sector. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. And we will sit as government will push to declare her persona non grata, PNG. It's not in our best interest. You can only want to exert your sovereignty or exert those kind of a right if you are independent country, if you're doing everything for yourself. Even the budget supporting the EU government is giving like almost 30 to $30 million of the million euro to the Liberian people and more. And there are other EU member countries that are individually hitting the Liberian. I know the German got a lot of programs, the Swedish Development Fund is going also. So a lot of the European countries that are pumping money into Liberia. So if the EU government is picking through some diplomatic cables and seeing this thing and she stated it, the presidency is not transparent. If the presidency was transparent during the State of the Nation, her point is why you didn't say some of these things that happen in the extractive industry. And there's a State of the Nation, you now inform the Liberian people. And we will sit and want to believe our government is ready to perform it because you declared PMG one of the powerful institutions that are partners to us, that are one of our major and reliable, dependable partners, the European Union. So the two countries, so if those things are unfolding and we don't want to listen, it's just troubling from that perspective. So 2 things you said, if there's no reform in the area, there's going to be a problem. And most of those things, and where problem will come from. And they coordinate, they listen. And sometimes will come, you just see them doing this, and some of the EU will delay in sanction, and Uncle Sam can delay the sanction. So, but it's a good show. But we hope they drop situation quickly, and the government will leave scapegoating, like the nonsense being spewed up by the deputy minister, that the opposition is responsible for creating false picture or bringing AR type of somebody and other things. So since the opposition is giving AR the information to us, bring the human information to us.
Right.
We don't want the AR.
It was through the release that.
Isn't that your role to bring the real information?
Yeah, your drug enforcement making you say all the people who got they are classified.
Yeah.
So they said they classify. When you say no, yes, Zoya classified. Is it Zoya classified?
Zoya not in the pepper bush.
But the only thing we know that Zoya is not living. So
it has to be on Facebook for 8 years now.
Zoya is not classified. So the basis of the classification, remove that thing and declassify Zoya and say no. The thing that messes up Zoya, we have declassified. Yes, Zoya, the man. They fail to do those things. It's going to it's a negative thing for them. If they don't manage this well, there's going to be some problem. I'm reliably told that they are second, and I want to be very mindful in this way, it bothers on people's repetition. But I'm reliably told that there are certain high-profile government officials, out of government officials, of people linked to high-profile government officials, very, very VVIP officials, people linked to them that are linked to this drugs thing.
Yep.
So
I heard
see what's going to happen.
I heard him. For instance,
it's been reported. So so let's wait and see. But they're not managing it well. And the more they drag their feet to manage it, the more they will expose themselves. So I will hope that they get ahead of the opposition and bring in AI. Yeah, they come up with BS story. Then we will see what they do. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Debbie?
Yeah, and I mean, I have nothing else to say. They need to, they need to inform the public every step of the way. They started it, and then they became hush-hush. They have all the supporting evidence to inform the public on the process of investigation. So they need to do that. There's reputational damage here. There's public trust, a lot of security implications. They put everybody at risk, with the scrutiny and everything else that comes with it. So they need to just do the right thing. They really need to do the right thing. So we're following this. We're not going to leave it. This is not a 1 week story. So you think there's 1 week, we'll talk it and we jump to the next topic. We're on this. So more to come.
Thank you. Honorable Nagbe?
Yeah, thank you very much. Great show, man. Before I forget quickly, happy birthday, Jerome, to our boy, Joseph Jala over at the Spoon Network, trying to, propagate the CMC message. He's our policy and research guy. Happy birthday to Joseph Jala. A brilliant young man. The drug thing, I couldn't agree with you guys more, Sylvester Pewee, I think this is, like I said, really bigger than what is happening, especially that clip that is in the chat room that I listened to. The vast reach of this network. You're talking about Europe, you're talking about America, you're talking about, Africa, what they've done in Guinea-Bissau, what they've done in Syria, what they're doing in Sierra Leone, what they're doing in Guinea, what they're doing in Belgium, what they are doing, from Colombia, and we want to be careful how we entangle ourselves into this thing. So I really hope our government will take this thing seriously. As Sylvester point, that big names are being, mentioned in this thing. The report is out there, it's no secret. Just like you said, some of the closest people in the president's circle. And like I said, his son's name keeps coming up, and the stories we're seeing, this is how these people take hold of the country. They don't go to you and myself, they go straight into the presidential palace. That's where they establish their stronghold. So, we really urge them to do the needful and try to, get to the bottom of this. I think what the opposition is feeding on is not by accident. They put Emmanuel's own name out there, so Minister Sano, coming out and say, you lie on my lie, that to me that you lie on my lie, we're not interested in that. We want solutions from them. But finally, I encourage our audience, go to OKFM and watch Musa Belete today. He went on there and just laying out how we intend to proceed over the next years. We're not closing the door to collaboration because we know post-war are doing politics now, except for Charles Taylor. It's difficult for any one person to do that. But notwithstanding, we don't think it is democratic enough for a few people to sit in the room and just say, you know what, let's reach an arrangement and you become the arrowhead. It's going to look like that. The general populace may prefer a different person. So we are saying we will follow the data. The data will lead us as to how to collaborate. And that is what we hope the rest of the opposition community will pay attention to. It wouldn't just be to coronate somebody, it wouldn't because, of X, Y, and Z, but let the data drive our collaboration, and I encourage you to go out there, you can fast forward to the 2-hour mark and listen to what he said. We are determined to make our impact on 2029, the CMC will, and we will be in the running. But great show tonight. Thanks for the opportunity. I hope to be with you guys again tomorrow.
Great, guys. Tomorrow is a big game, Senegal and France. That will be a big one. We are all show out and support our African brothers. It'll be a good game.
Jerome, sorry. I almost forgot. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Dr. Kehleboe. We went out to Charlotte together on this very convention I'm talking about, and he fell ill. So he missed the rest of the activity except the welcome, but I'm glad I just read that he's back home now at home. So I'm very happy to hear that, best of, speedy recovery to my buddy, Dr. Kehleboe. And thanks to the wife and the family for all the support that he has been given to him.
Yeah, next time when you go, when you can tell me you carry some Ghana.
No, they too much wine. You drink too much wine.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, strong Ghana.
Listen, that wine.
They strong shot, right?
Yeah, but thank God he's doing good now. Thank God.
Yeah, he's doing good, but that wine too strong. I told you. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my prediction. I trust the report from the Sahel report. The names they are calling, if it is true, the entire government will fall. This is why they are holding and negotiating with the different embassies and stakeholders so they can come up with some plausible deniability and some responsibility. There's no way that this government will stand with the kind of name and the evidence being provided. I've never seen news report that didn't say alleged.
Yeah. Right.
They are calling names, they're giving dates and times and position and why these positions are critical. This goes all the way to the president's office, Mandela Cooper, Tantan, Gregory Coleman, you name it, all the way down. If this thing stands as ace, the government will fall.
Well, they've already fallen. Like Fallujah. They already fallen because the thing about they've lost public trust. These people are not coming back.
No. At this point, they are, like in a traumatic thing, right? It's like death. First, you get into deniability. You want to deny it. Then finally, you try to negotiate, and then acceptance. They are now at the negotiation stages with
and denial too, and saying
they began with that first. I was the first one. They deny, come with all this stuff. So now they are talking to the different embassies, different stakeholders, the EU, the US, everybody, and telling them, because the people have the information. Most likely they may have done this, and they are saying now, listen. The nations, the people do not have credibility in the system anymore. It will bring everybody. If you bring Ms. Cooper from the president's office, the president's son, then, like the newspaper said, these people have police clearance. They have security clearance.
Right.
That goes security clearance. National, that go all the way to from NSA, all the way down.
Right.
So we are talking about the entire government. So
nobody is in charge. That's what happened.
Yeah,
when you have nobody in charge,
they are negotiating for something.
They will come up with some mess, Mr. Gayman, some kind of fabricated story, some kind of mess.
They will find a fall guy. And that would be the end of it, because this one is too glaring, it's too big, it's too embarrassing, and it has everything, to it. That is my prediction. I know what it is. But guys, it's been a great show as always. Honorable Pewee, thank you for coming here. We let one story out because I was doing a research. I didn't hear from the person. I wanted to know whether the European Union, somewhere I read it last time, and said the European Union have not responded or acknowledged Liberia's letter of recall. So I don't know. Tomorrow we'll discuss that. I think Mr. Pewee will make some calls to make sure whether we have heard from the European Union, whether the woman has been recalled. whatever it is, from what I've
What foolishness for stating the obvious? You won't recall somebody.
So yes, it's also, but I will do more to confirm for tomorrow. We'll get more definitively on tomorrow. But it was not a recall.
Yes.
So they don't. The government abroad cannot ask you to recall. The only option they have is to declare you persona non grata, PMG. And the information is that they've tried. They didn't want to do it straight. They didn't follow the proper diplomatic channel. So the road instead asking the European Union to recall. You don't do that. So that is also tantamount to PMG, right? But there was a negotiation, and the ambassador requested to even take some time to pack up, and the foreign minister insisted. That is unconfirmed for now. I'm getting some of this information. Said no, and that the woman left the country. So it was actually declaring her PMG. But here's what I know. This foreign minister and this woman worked before. I don't think they've been good friends. They worked in the same area in Sudan before. I'm getting another intelligence. I have to be confirmed some of these things or the rest of that. But the attempt for them to declare her, nothing she said that was directly hitting the Liberian government. Diplomats do speak through those kind of ways when they are excited. And it's through her observation. Mm-hmm. The money sector has been controlled by the vice president. He got rid of someone that he was not comfortable with to bring someone that he can control. And that's a fact. The president didn't give the actual number when he did the State of the Nation report. That also is another fact. So if you are not saying what you ought to say, you're not being transparent. That's a fact. She spoke through these cables, but again, she's leaving. Or she's left already, rather. But there's going to be some issues that the government going to pay for. On a serious note, she didn't attack the government. De La Rue are more ruthless on the Weah government than she did. Mm-hmm. De La Rue, yeah, that EU ambassador, but then I was in government. He was more. So, I mean, it just weird, and it seems to be the government like no one to criticize them.
Exactly, you took it out of my mouth, Pewee. Just saw one thing.
Nobody criticizes.
Everybody that criticizes you.
Even ambassador, you want bite the finger that feel.
And he wants to send their 2 feet, and they won't be getting rid of people while giving them bread and salt.
It's a troubling thing for this foreign minister to advise the government to do that. But the foreign minister is bringing her own personal vendetta into this thing. That's my information. But she allowed the president that is not in charge to buy into this because she carried the woman criticizing you. Let's do this. Nonsense.
They seem to deal with Nigeria. I mean, went as low as writing another government for somebody criticizing you. And then you do it.
The information that Nigeria said there was a useless communication they sent. So
exactly.
Yes, I confirmed that Nigerian body they said it was
useless on that part. The idea that we even did that because I couldn't be the actor was a prank, but to find out that the actual Balu, that Nagbe best friend from Kipamas, all I know were making it for Balu to sit there and read that kind of junk. This is what I'm telling you. When they're in Liberia, they know book, they know everything. But when they get them on their equals, primate, he's not a primate, he's a junior primate. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day to you. Jen, thank you very much. Ricky Young, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let's do this again tomorrow, same time, okay? God bless.
Have a great night.
Good night.
With a point of peace, which does mean that the door